Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the tier list. We have a very special episode for you guys today. We're joined today with Collins.
How you doing, folks?
Took a while that. Paddy. And Ritten.
Hey, can't wait.
And today we've got, might look like it's small on the tiers, but going to be a lot of debate here. We are looking at the Star Wars franchise. Before we start, just talk about the tiers. Top tier is a Jedi masterpiece. Second tier is the Force is strong with this one. Middle ground is entertaining. The second to bottom one is so uncivilized, and the bottom tier is worse than Jar Jar Binks, which surprised me, Ritten, because I thought Jar Jar was your favorite character.
Oh yeah, I love the arc he has. It's a bit cringe, but I do have a bad feeling about this. And since this is Star Wars, you do need to say that because it's said in every single Star Wars film ever. So I had to get that line in before we started. But Jar Jar Binks, no, he's not my favorite character. Maybe when I was like 8 years old, but not now.
I think you're being generous, given him that he might have been your favorite character at one point.
Well, I did have a little teddy bear of Jar Jar Binks when I was younger.
Oh, that's horrifically cute.
Anyway, right. It's my thing, isn't it? So should I kick us off? We're going to go in chronological order. And we're going to start with the Phantom Menace, where the taxation of trade routes to outlying star systems is in dispute, guys. What interesting. That sounds to me.
Well, I was gripped instantly when I saw that one.
How could you think that was a good way to start?
I can't believe I've got the opening title crawl here. The first sentence: turmoil has engulfed the Galactic Republic. Already sounds a bit too political. The taxation of trade routes, blah 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 blah. And you're just like, oh god, no, this isn't gonna be like what's gonna happen here.
It's funny because people waited 16 years for this movie, and that's what they come.
Yeah, so
16 years and the trade blockade. That's your big plot point. A planet's got some ships around it.
Yeah, the first line as well is "I have a bad feeling about this" by Obi-Wan. They really put that in there straight away. I kind of like that, to be fair. I think that's quite funny. I wouldn't say clever, but yeah. Okay, everyone had high hopes for this after the success of the original trilogies, completely revolutionizing the sci-fi genre at its time. And I think the amount of hype that this had really did hurt it. No, I don't think it's great, but I think the fact that you had some absolute classics come beforehand and then you have to go back to tell the story of what happened before that, I feel like did it a bit of harm because everyone was mad about it. So everyone expected, another classic, and it definitely wasn't that, was it, guys?
Yeah. So if I know it's bad, it's bad.
It was so bad. And it has to be said that a lot of it is because of the introduction of one character.
What character would that be?
Oh, it's fat
Obi-Wan.
Jar Jar, in
it? Yeah, it's Obi-Wan. I tell you what, I really did cringe when he said, "You were right about one thing, Master. The negotiations were short." I was like, oh, Christ.
It's like Joss Whedon wrote the script.
I was like, oh, Christ. I was like, oh, Obi-Wan's not going to be annoying. Do you know what? Obi-Wan actually isn't that bad. But that line really made me, curl up inside. Oh.
Well, but one of the worst things about this movie, it's called The Phantom Menace, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
After, is Darth Maul, am I saying that? Is that right?
There was no Phantom Menace anywhere.
Right, and he was in it for about 5 minutes of the entire movie. We learned absolutely nothing about his character. You're gonna name your movie about a character that is in it for 5 minutes and is not profiled at all.
Paddy, the Sith are the Phantom Menace. It's not just Darth Maul.
I did tell you I don't know anything about Star Wars. I already warned you.
2
and you're
minutes.
acting like I didn't.
2 minutes.
2 minutes and Collins is already having a go.
You've already broken my rule. I literally put a disclaimer beforehand telling you I am rubbish at this, and you're still having a go.
I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not having a go. You are right. Darth Maul probably should be more involved in the film. But the point of the Phantom Menace is the fact that it's the Sith as a whole, and that's why he has the meeting with what we now know is Palpatine beforehand about how they're going to reveal himself. Yeah. And look, can I just say, I actually don't mind this film.
No,
This
I've
film, the Phantom Menace isn't meant to be like A New Hope. A New Hope was its own original film because if it didn't do well, you weren't getting the other two, so it needed to have an ending. Phantom Menace is its entire purpose is to build the world of Star Wars, so you know what's going on, and then you get Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, which are meant to be good, and we'll get onto the next that one.
I do like that.
Yeah.
I think that it gets a pass for me because it's more of a world builder. It's there's a trilogy. You don't need to go all balls to the wall like A New Hope tried to do at times.
Yeah, but
at the same time though, why the hell do you start your entire movie with a trade blockade?
Yeah, I mean, the title call honestly just sounds like a space version of Brexit, to be honest. Like, the Trade Federation has stopped all shipping to the small planet of Naboo and stuff like that. And, oh,
yeah,
God.
that kind of was my first thought when I was reading that.
Hang on a second. Brexit. Yeah, the problems with this film is there's about 40 minutes where they're in, was it Coruscant? Is that how you say it?
Tatooine.
No. Tatooine as well. But they do a lot.
No, he's on about when we realise that they're corrupt all politicians.
And there's a lot of
that's a unique take for a film to have.
Yeah, and there's political talk and talks about, oh well, you could be the new senator, and just like no one cares about this. Just do it in 5 minutes. You could have done this in 5 minutes. Give us some more action or something. Then obviously Tatooine, they are on there for a long time, and the pod racing. It was basically made so they could do video games and sell toys. Let's be honest. That was the big reason behind that. Do you know what?
Let's be honest. It was every 6-year-old's favorite scene.
Do you know what? Yeah, I remember liking it, but it went on for too long as well.
Yeah, I mean, it was quite pointless to the story. So for it to go on for that long is like you could really summarize this movie in like 3 scenes, basically: the political talk, the race, and the war at the end. And none of those scenes are that particularly interesting or that particularly important to the story.
They could have done a lot more and have different stuff in there instead of having all this political filler in and stuff. And the pod racing, while it showed that like Anakin has this, natural ability to be a great pilot, and Qui-Gon can like sense that there's something with this boy. It goes on for far too long. And, there are some nice little moments in there, but it's too long. That's the problem with this film. It's not terrible. It's just things go on for too long in like every segment.
But hang on. It does have the second best Star Wars battle.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I was going to get onto the good stuff as well, of course. And
which one?
Darth Maul versus Qui-Gon.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the Gungans against the droids, and I was like, you're being
very
generous.
The droids.
Oh my God. Where Jar Jar's like falling all over the place and somehow hitting every enemy available without being shot once. It's brilliant.
If only Darth Jar Jar theory was actually true.
I remember hearing that theory, thinking like, is Jar Jar Snoke or something, or is Snoke Jar Jar? And I was praying so much for that to happen. I would have loved that so much.
When does Jar Jar actually die in the does he die in the expanded universe?
Jar Jar never dies. Jar Jar lives forever.
No.
I was hoping he'd return. No, but never mind. Return to be evil though, not because then it kind of would have made sense in a way, because the way he kind of magically avoided all the enemies while accidentally hitting all of them and releasing the big like tank of purple electric balls that takes out all those droid ships, it kind of would have made sense. Like, oh, it wasn't accidental, it was just an act, and he actually is so powerful that he could just do that, but look clumsy at the same time.
Yeah,
it could have actually made that bit of the prequels with him make sense. It would have been a lot better.
I mean, ultimately, he was just put in there as a bit of comic relief. like pretty much. Like, I mean, but I don't think they needed to because C-3PO is the perfect comic relief already.
Yeah. Misa think they didn't do a great job with that one, is all I'm going to say. Right. Yeah, that the battle with Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, Darth Maul is amazing. Apparently, I read that they had to, when it got to Obi-Wan and Maul after Qui-Gon got killed,
Maul.
they had to they actually had to slow down the choreograph of the fight because they were going too fast for the motion captures to actually, make it actually look good. So they had to actually slow it down, which is quite interesting, but actually has nothing to do with the film. But the fight is cool nonetheless. Should we get on to rating this?
Oh, I thought there was going to be more about the end. I mean,
Oh yeah,
I can't even remember the end.
and the
Qui-Gon
start of the love story between Padme and Anakin.
Oh yes, where
Which-
they have like a.
She's 16, right? And
Mhm,
he's 9.
mhm.
Nonce.
Oh my
Hang
god.
Hang on. Now, okay. But to be fair, there's
But
no.
he came onto her.
No, hang on. No. 14.
Are you an angel? She said. If that's not flirting, I don't know what is.
Yeah, Padme has clearly never heard of the half your age plus 7 rule.
Oh my god.
I don't. Maybe I'm wrong here, but I don't think they did enough to build that relationship in the first movie. Like, like he goes into the second movie, he's like, "Oh, I haven't stopped thinking about you in 10 years." But in the first movie, they were like, they weren't that close. They didn't seem that close. Like,
Well, he gave her that that little necklace thing.
yeah, I know. I just think that they didn't do like they could have had a bit more of a
They could have.
a bond creator, but I'm
Yeah.
being picky there probably.
Yeah, they focused more on Qui-Gon and Anakin than that, which I actually kind of liked. He was like kind of looked like a real father figure to him, obviously until he died, which it was disappointing. I wish Qui-Gon hadn't have died, but I guess they needed him to die so then Obi-Wan could trade Anakin and it wouldn't go. Anyway, yeah.
No, we should do. I thought we should do Star Wars characters on the tier list at some point. as well.
Yeah, that would be good.
Oh, that'd be great. That
What-
would be fantastic. Everyone picks Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah. Right. There's one thing about this film that is also really bad that we haven't said is when Anakin accidentally flies into space, then goes inside the big mega Trade Federation ship and somehow blows it up from the inside, and then goes, "Now this is pod racing."
No, it's not. It's warfare, dickhead.
What?
It's a war crime.
Oh, that child actor was so bad.
We'll
I
get
don't
on
think he was
to-
that bad.
No,
He
yeah,
was-
hang on. No, right, okay. Jake Lloyd does a good job as Anakin. Anakin's just a rubbish character.
Yeah, like I think like he's a real like you got to think he's a really young actor. I think he did a pretty
For a
like,
child
job.
actor as well.
Yeah.
Anakin is literally
I'm
the
being-
worst character.
overly critical here, but
Having said that, like we'll get onto this probably with all the other ones, but every Skywalker's a Gary or Mary Sue. They're all just perfect human beings who can do anything that they put their mind to. Every main character is like that in Star Wars.
no.
They
No.
They
I am actually going to enjoy this, especially when we get to the new ones.
Oh. Oh. No, listen, we can get onto that, but let's actually get on to rating this film. I think we spent long enough on it. I would put it in so uncivilized. I don't feel
I'd
like
put it in
it's terrible.
entertainment.
I wouldn't even mind. It was between those two for me. I wouldn't mind it going in either. But I just went with so uncivilized just for this is pod racing.
So uncivilized because it does have one of the best lightsaber fights in Star Wars.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it brought forward the notion that there are more bad guys other than Darth Vader, because people must have been worried when it first came out, like, Darth Vader is going to be a tough role to fill.
Darth Maul was so cool. He should have been in all three films.
Yeah, he was a character that wasn't used. Like he could have been.
He really
like,
should.
cooler.
Yeah.
He really should have been in all three, because you could have just had him have a rivalry with Obi-Wan for the entirety of all three films, and it would have been great, and it would have been natural storytelling.
But that's what
But
they've done.
hey,
They've moved it.
Dooku.
They put it to the Clone Wars, didn't they? And Rebels and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I might move it to entertaining for Darth Maul and the fight.
Paddy,
Nah,
what's your vote?
it's
I'm going entertaining. I'm going with entertaining. I'm swapping.
wait. Well, I was going to put a bottom tier.
Oh,
Entertaining wins.
Is it really?
Oh.
Entertaining. You having a laugh? It's the most
Well, we
boring
got
film
2
out of the
votes
lot.
for it.
hang on. How has that happened when half of it is
It's the-
political talk?
It's,
How fucking-
right, surely it's got to be below entertaining. It's not entertaining at all. It's bloody boring as hell.
No, you know what? No, you're right. Half of it's political talk. I can't.
it's
Yeah, sorry,
I thought-
back.
not PMQs.
I mean, the reason I put a bottom tier, it's the worst movie out of all of them that scene.
Oh no. No.
Oh, no.
In my
That
eyes,
is
it
wrong.
was.
Bold statement, Patrick.
No.
In my eyes, it was the worst movie.
Oh, well, just you wait till the 6 pages of notes I've got on a couple of the films that we'll talk about later on. No,
I'm casual, so my opinion.
fair enough. So uncivilized. No, yeah, there's too much political talk, too much pod racing. Yeah, it does have a couple of
Right, hang on.
actions.
Right, we'll get onto this, but the entirety of Star Wars is based on politics, right? You do realise.
Yes, but I don't need to hear Palpatine and the Queen, who's got this weird voice as well, talk about it for an hour. And those guys. And also, can we talk about the low-key racism of those Trade Federation aliens who go, "Oh yes,
Wow.
like, oh my god, really?"
No,
Are you
hang on.
telling me the villains were racist?
I'm sorry, but there's so much more as well. Jar Jar Binks is like a Jamaican stereotype. Watto, is it Watto as like a Middle Eastern stereotype?
I can't believe Jar Jar Binks was Jamaican. It's just ridiculous.
But anyway, let's move on. Let's move on to Attack of the Clones.
Even worse.
Really? I don't.
No.
I didn't mind Anakin in Phantom Menace because you could say he was just a kid. This guy was a grown-ass man and he was acting like a little bitch all the time. I hated everything about Anakin. Like, I couldn't believe that this was the guy that we were looking at to be leader of the mightiest empire that the galaxy has ever seen in about 20 years' time.
He's only 19 in this film, I think. That's like supposed to be his age in this. And, you know, I don't think anyone can actually hate this film because of the masterful dialogue in that scene where he goes, "I don't like sand. It's coarse, irritating, and it gets everywhere." And then pulls Padme because of that. That's how he pulls Padme. Because he talked about sand.
No, that's not how he pulls Padme. He pulls Padme when he admits that he murdered an entire race of people.
Oh yeah, that's how they fully get together.
Is Padme just as bad?
Yeah.
Does she encourage this?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
No, I think she's blinded by love.
But she's not in love until that moment.
I have never.
It was so funny because I think this is after they get captured and they're about to go into this arena. They're like, and she's like, "Oh, I love you," and he's like, "Oh, I thought we're not supposed to love," and she goes, "This is actually what she says. I truly and deeply love you." Because that's what actual humans say, apparently. Who wrote this damn script?
I mean, don't get me wrong. Their relationship was important, but I hated it. Like, their relationship's important.
I have to ask you guys.
Doesn't make sense.
I've got to ask you guys, have you ever been in love with someone so much you want to murder a group of indigenous people for him?
I have. I already have.
Tell you, mate, the amount of times.
Yeah. Not just the women, not just the men, but the women and the children too.
Women and the children.
Oh yeah, and then he murders the children at the end, and she's still like, "Oh no, it's all right. Come back. We can change this." I'm like, surely at that point you'd be like, "You know what? I'm out. I'll move on. I'm a queen. I can probably pull anyone I want."
I'm a queen.
Let's talk about some of the positives of this film. I liked the Camino storyline of the whole clone army. And Cypher Diaz, he's an interesting character. I can't wait to hear more about him later. Sorry. No, wait, hang on. No, that was it.
That's the thing. A lot of what happens in stuff like this that wasn't explained is explained mostly entirely in the Clone Wars. Like, I know you want people to watch the Clone Wars, but at least tell us more about it.
No, yeah, because some people won't think about the TV series. They'll be like, the films are the films, and that's the story, and that's it, really. like people aren't. A lot of people are not gonna want to watch a cartoon series. Like they're just gonna want to watch the films. Just tell us 5 minutes, not even less, a few minutes of Cypher Diaz. Not just Cypher Diaz ordered this 10 years ago and then he died, and that was it. Oh, God. But anyway, the scenes on Camino are actually interesting. Seeing the clones, and then the confrontation between Obi-Wan and Jango Fett. The fight they have is interesting. I like that. And then when they go through the asteroids and stuff, that was pretty cool. I like that a lot. Then the fight scene in the arena is quite interesting too. Go on, Collins.
But the clones are
Yes.
based on the bounty hunter that tried to kill Padme. Why did the Jedi trust the clones?
Because they had to.
No, they didn't.
At that point, they had to.
No, they did not.
Why? Okay, why didn't they?
Because a dead Jedi that hadn't been seen for 20 years apparently ordered them to be created. I don't trust people.
So you're gonna have
not some...
So you're gonna have 200 Jedi against like 100,000 droids. That seems This isn't like a trillion lions against the sun. This ain't gonna work. They're all gonna die. They are literally forced to go through it.
Pun. Forced.
Thank you.
No, I don't even really think about that too much, to be honest. It kind of gave a bit of an origin to like the stormtroopers and how they were able to assemble such an army. They probably just used a bunch of the clones, but then obviously in the sequel,
they're not.
They're not
that, you know.
Well, no,
they're not clone stormtroopers.
Apparently, some of them are, and then they start raiding children. But anyway, Count Dooku is interesting. What? It's not
rubbish.
Count Dooku is not rubbish.
He's an absolutely rubbish character.
You're just a hater.
What?
Dooku's good.
No,
I don't know. Why?
He doesn't do anything.
He's in charge and he chops Anakin's arm off and he, hurts Obi-Wan. And then he has a fight with Yoda. And then he escapes.
Plus
unceremoniously just announced to have been there the entire time. He sits on he stays on a planet under Separatist rule for the entirety of the film. He gets in a fight, he loses it, and he runs away.
Yeah, I'm with Collins on this one. I thought he was a poor character.
He faced off against Yoda, so you know.
I've got to be honest.
Yoda, who they ruined in this film because Yoda's not meant to fight.
Why? Why can't he fight?
Yoda is the ultimate peacekeeper.
Yeah, but in self-defense, anyone.
Well, if a guy might say, "Be like, kill me, you."
Well, like, hey! No, but you could see when he did fight, he was like, he was like instantly annoyed that he had to, like, because he had to because of self-defense. Like a Jedi shouldn't attack unless attacked.
Exactly, and the thing is Dooku throws things at him and he stops it, and he's like, "All right, much to learn, you still have." And then Dooku's like, "Well, clearly this duel can't be sorted from our, knowledge of the Force, but by a lightsaber." Then he takes his lightsaber. He has to fight, and also, I'm not gonna lie, I can't remember how old I was, but little kid me absolutely loved when Yoda got his lightsaber out, and everyone loved it. It was so cool. The music building up to it, and the lightsaber comes into his hand, and then he starts flipping around like a green bowling ball just all over the place. It was great. I love that.
Why couldn't it just be Mace?
Because Yoda is cool. So is Mace, but Yoda's, I don't know.
Because we've known Yoda for 30 years.
It was so cool though, because you see those original, films and everything, and now finally after 25 years or something, you finally see Yoda fight. I think that's quite cool. I know he's old and stuff, but he's incredibly powerful in the Force, so I still think it's plausible that he's able to flip around like that because he's using his powers, which are like unbelievably large. So I did like that. And, obviously he doesn't go to kill Dooku. He kind of lets him escape and saves Obi-Wan and Anakin. And it also, shows us how like erratic and rash Anakin is by just going straight for Dooku when he could have just teamed up with Obi-Wan and maybe got Dooku right then and there.
Anakin's just a tit. I'm saying it. He's a tit.
Well, he's a 19-year-old lad, so yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
he's been working with
17-year-old who
Obi-Wan
got told that he's the greatest Jedi ever, the chosen one who's going to bring balance to the Force.
Yeah, and
Tell
he was working with
10-year-old
Obi-Wan
that
for
he's
10
gonna become
years.
an Arab.
It's so frustrating. It is so frustrating to have this Jedi who we all know is going to be Darth Vader.
Mm-hmm.
Looks such a bitch.
Yeah, he's whining that, but he's a 19-year-old.
Yeah,
And
but
also,
as I said,
and-
he's been being trained by Obi-Wan for 10 years, so you'd think he would have.
Well,
if I was 19 and a Jedi, I would be buzzing. I'd be chopping heads off. I'd be going in.
yeah, but also you have to think about, right, here's the thing. The Jedi, right, they said he's too old to be trained, but eventually they did because Qui-Gon died and they felt a bit guilty. So they were like, oh, fine, we'll train him. But they didn't feel good about it. They felt kind of very cautious about having this because he was too old. And the reason they want Jedis to be trained so young is so that, they can be taught to basically be emotionless and to let things go. Now, then you have to factor in that Anakin
Pretty faulty, that.
tried to save his mum, got there, and then his mum died in his arms while being completely tortured.
I think that's
Scars
pretty.
on her face and everything.
I think that's pretty selfish of her as well.
Do you
She waited for Anakin to show up, then died.
Yeah. So I mean, come on. If you're a 19-year-old and that's happened, and Dooku was behind that, of course you're gonna be whiny and erratic and everything. It's good. It makes sense. It also shows how like angry he is and how bad he is with his emotions, which kind of tells you that now you can kind of see why this guy becomes the most evil, monstrous person in the entire galaxy. It kind of makes sense. He's 19 at the end of the day. He's not Darth Vader yet, and he's far from it. So I'm okay with the whole whiny thing.
It does make sense, but it doesn't stop him from being really annoying.
Oh no, I think it's a good thing that he's annoying. He should be, I think, and also the whole awkward flirting thing kind of makes sense as well because he shouldn't have really any social skills if he's just been trained to be a Jedi the last 10 years. But I also found out they deleted like several scenes on Naboo between Anakin, Padme, and her mum and dad. And I actually watched those scenes, and they do so much more for the relationship between those two than any of the scenes in the actual film do. I can't believe that. I mean, it would have been 10 minutes longer, but that relationship, which is so crucial to the plot of this trilogy, would have been a lot better. It would have been
Oh no, man!
Dialogue is terrible.
142 minutes too long. I definitely wouldn't add another 10 to it.
I know. Like the film isn't amazing either, and the dialogue is god awful. But that it would have done a lot for that storyline and that arc between.
Does Anakin actually say anything positive at all in this film?
He says that he loves someone.
Yeah.
Which ends up destroying the entire galaxy.
That's positive.
He also has that talk with Padme where he threatens a dictatorship. I don't know if anyone remembers that. He's like, well, we'll make them. And Padme's like, well, who'll make them? I will. Well, that sounds like a dictatorship. And he's like, well, whatever works. And you're like, there's the Darth Vader. There he is, Mr. Dictator, Mr. Space Hitler himself. Right. Shall we... Have we got anything else to say about this?
Space Hitler. I don't know why Space Hitler tickled me so much.
So, well, it's kind of true.
Mace Windu's pretty cool in this film.
Mace Windu's good, yeah.
Yeah, he's got a purple lightsaber instead of blue or green.
Yeah.
And
red.
He decapitates Django.
Peacekeepers.
Man gave no shits, did he?
We're
Mace
not
Windu
soldiers.
done. He was just like, you know what? Screw you. And to be fair, he was getting shot at, so you got to kill if you're going to be killed.
Yeah, we're doing a lot of this ideas of self-defense. Bring him in.
Yeah, but also the whole like war scene between the clones and the droids and the different machines and everything, and the ships trying to take off and they get blown up. That was quite cool. I like that. I did like that. And Anakin losing to Dooku, that's good because he's still only very young. He shouldn't be beating some experienced Sith Lord. So that was good. Obi-Wan losing was interesting. Probably the right move. I actually think this is an all right film. So I would put it in entertaining.
You joke.
Well, Phantom Menace, you said entertaining. I think this is better than Phantom Menace.
This film's the worst of all the films.
Oh, Collins, no.
This film's awful.
This film's a Taylor Swift.
No.
They love stories.
It's
How
not
dare
the
you.
worst. It's not the worst.
Oh, I struck at it with Patty.
I don't Taylor Swift. No, I'm not having that. She's the worst thing to happen to planet Earth, let alone.
I mean, Hitler existed.
Exactly.
Yes.
I'm joking.
No,
There's a lot.
Ritson, this film is worse than Jar Jar Binks. It's got a love story that nobody wants to pay attention to. It's got a mystery going on with Obi-Wan that people only like because they've made prequel meme jokes about it, and it ends with one of the most boring of all their fights in Star Wars. After how good the end fight is in Star Wars Phantom Menace, you follow it up with that garbage.
Nah, it wasn't that bad. Nah, it was all right. Obi-Wan and Anakin v Dooku was all right, you know, and then Anakin getting the second saber, saving Obi-Wan, but then eventually losing. And I'm sorry, but again, seeing Yoda with the lightsaber for the first time ever was great.
Hang on, actually, one more thing. We haven't even talked about the droid factory segment.
Because did you think that we chose to?
Oh,
this is.
Oh yeah, that.
Anything that has that in it cannot be seen as entertaining.
Well, I just think it was better than the Phantom Menace, and I actually enjoyed watching the film, and it didn't, it stuck to what was, within the rules of the Star Wars universe, unlike other films that I will talk about later. And unlike the Phantom Menace, there's a lot less there's still political talk in this, but there's less than there was in the first film, and there's no pod racing in this, which was a good thing. And you know what? I just don't think it's. I don't think it's that good a film, but I don't think it's a bad film, so I'm putting it in the middle.
All right, Paddy, you've got the last vote.
Where did mine go?
Is mine not?
I thought you said that you agreed with me.
I don't remember saying that, but I do agree with you.
I apologise.
Paddy, come on.
Yeah, I'm non-written side on this one.
Yes.
Holy Christ! Well, what do we do? Because it's not like
you just put it in civilized. Yeah.
Civilized.
I mean, I thought it was better than Phantom Menace. I thought it was a clearer story. The battle scenes were better. It wasn't an amazing film, but I still found it entertaining.
Awful,
yeah, sure.
Awful person.
I'm just gonna once again. I'm gonna point out the official Star Wars fan of watch through is 45136 because 2 is that bad and unnecessary that no one watches it.
Oh, we actually can have anything in the bottom tier then.
That's why the Phantom Menace should have been there because it's dog shit.
No. we just need to wait another few films. Don't you worry. Bottom tier will definitely come into this.
Well, quick. Might as well go over the film that took place between 2 and 3, the animated, the Clone Wars. I don't mind it. I think it's all right. It actually does stuff. It doesn't go on about a love story. It actually shows Anakin as a good soldier and a bit funny. Plus, we have the voices of actual Samuel L. Jackson, Christopher Lee for Mace and stuff. I think it's all decent.
Yeah, it's 3 episodes put together of the TV show, but it went out in cinemas. Made 68 million, which seems kind of bad for a Star Wars film, but when you consider that it's the TV show getting put on a movie, that's quite well. It's not got a good reception by fans. I think it's not seen as one of the best things that's came out in the Star Wars. Then again, the sequel trilogy hasn't came out yet. It's not a good representation of the TV show. I find the TV show is so much better.
Oh, TV show's great. TV show's
Yeah.
one of the best.
But you know, if you watch that and think that you're gonna watch, I reckon it'll do its job of getting people to think, yeah, you know what, I'll give the TV show a go.
It's actually pretty decent. Like, it's not even a joke. Like, it's probably better than Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones, which isn't even that difficult. But
It's not.
for an animated show, it's pretty impressive. Like, it's like I said, it actually shows Anakin in a good light. It actually makes me want to root for Anakin. It's a miracle. I think this should go into entertaining.
Oh yeah, I do find it interesting. Why did Christopher Lee and Samuel L. Jackson and Anthony Daniels agree to do voices, but not Hayden Christensen or Ewan McGregor?
I don't know, because we were. I think I don't know.
Hayden Christensen said he gave up Hollywood. Like, I think he just gave up acting. I don't know why Ewan McGregor though.
Because Ewan McGregor has better things to do.
Ewan McGregor's busy, I guess. But to be fair, Samuel Jackson did it, so.
Yeah, true.
And he's in every movie.
Yeah.
I think I saw him as an extra in New Hope as well.
Wouldn't surprise me.
No, I think this goes in entertaining for me.
Yeah, and as we're the only two that have seen it, so it does.
Well, it's a winner.
Suckers.
Yeah, fair enough. I might have liked it, but didn't have time.
Let's all right. We'll move on then. We'll quickly move on to the last of the prequels, and I think it's universally accepted to be the best. And I'd be very shocked if anyone disagrees.
Oh yeah, that wasn't hard written. It's like
yeah. I was gonna say if you can't say this is the best one, then I don't know what's going on.
It's like comparing a bowl of ice cream to 2 bowls of shit.
Yeah. It's like, oh, 2 girls, 1 cup factory. Oh, love that. So let's talk about Revenge of the Sith. Now,
yeah, but hang on. The ice cream's like Co-op's own brand, though.
Oh, are we still on about ice cream?
From the Co-op?
I'm hungry for ice cream now. It's boiling outside.
Well, there's our Co-op sponsor gone down the drain. Thanks, Co-op. Unbelievable.
So we start Revenge of the Sith with a nice space battle, and Anakin says this is where the fun begins. He must be meaning that this is where the prequels actually starts to get good.
Well, no, yeah, that's my exact point. It's the first of the 2 Star Wars films that actually starts like a Star Wars film.
Yeah, this is really... I really enjoy this film a lot. Starts out with a battle, then they go into the ship, they're beating all the droids, then they go save Palpatine, and then Anakin beheads Dooku. That was interesting. But he shouldn't. The good thing about this is, right then and there, he's conflicted about whether to. He's like, no, I shouldn't kill him. It's not the Jedi way. I'm a Jedi. I'm not a killer. And then, Palpatine says, do it. So he...
I'm not a killer. I just kill indigenous people.
Yeah, I just kill people who kill my mother.
I just kill children.
That's a bit different. That is a bit different, to be fair. And then they have the, General Grievous segment, which I think was quite cool. The crash landing. I think this is a really entertaining film. There's a lot of action. It was like true Star Wars, where everyone was like, thank God these prequels have took a turn right at the end, and this is entertaining. We get a lot of lightsaber fights, we get a lot of action, a lot of battles, less love story stuff too, which was good call. but the really good thing about this is they finally... The best thing about Anakin and Padme's love story is a scene where there is no dialogue whatsoever. And it's when Anakin's turned over Palpatine to the Jedi Council and said, he's a Sith Lord, mate. And Windu's like, right, you stay here because you're useless and we don't trust you. We're going to take care of this because we're the big boys. And Anakin's like, oh, okay. But anyway, they're not looking at each other, but they're across. It gives the scene gives you a view of the buildings that Anakin and Padme are in across the city, and it's like they're looking at each other, but they can't see each other, and they're both like crying, and I don't know. There's just a lot of emotion there, and it was a really cool scene before Anakin rushes out to try and because he realizes that Padme might die if he doesn't do anything about this. So I really like that. I actually think this storytelling from all perspectives is actually just a really good film.
And did you hear the tale about Darth Plagueis the Wise?
Did you ever hear?
Did you ever hear the tale of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
He was
the best thing to come out of the prequels.
It was so good. So many memes as well.
Not even that. Like, because that's actually good exposition.
Yeah.
That's expanding the actual universe. It expands Sith lore, and it's done in a way of him not just telling him. He's telling him it's a way to make Anakin think, "Whoa, I kind of want to be a Sith now."
Yeah.
That's actually good storytelling.
Oh yeah, I completely agree.
I will say, once again, the villains, apart from Palpatine, are completely pointless and garbage. Why don't you just keep Darth Maul alive?
It shouldn't be.
Grievous is rubbish.
He shouldn't have been. He should have been the coolest bitch out there.
Yeah, but they gave him a cough.
Yeah. Bad guys have coughs as well.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Bad guys don't only cough. Coughing was his character trait.
It's weird to see like a guy like that cough. Like he's like a monster and he's coughing in space. That was the strangest thing.
That was the strangest thing for you.
I mean, I found that so strange. I was like, "What? He's got the flu in space. What's going on here?"
He was meant to be so cool because I remember, like, I was doing research for this and I was looking at what Grievous was meant to be, and he was meant to be like a sort of bad guy who would take about 10 Jedi just to put him away. Like, he would kill Jedi from nothing, and then for some reason they just destroyed his character and no one actually really knows why.
Yeah, they could have done a lot more with Grievous. I did like the visual when he had the 4 sabers and he started doing the helicopter with him on the floor, and there was the cool sounds and everything. Obi-Wan was like, "What the hell is this?" I did like that, but they should have done a lot more with him. His death scene was very cool, though. His death, when Obi-Wan rips open like his armor and then shoots him and he bursts into flame. It was quite cool. And then he says the line, which is in the tier list. So uncivilized. So, that, for me, fantastic. Makes his whole character.
I don't even know. But, at the end of the day, you do have one of the best lightsaber fights of all time, innit? Duel of the Fates.
You have the best.
The best ever. The best ever. It was so good. And the thing is, the way they switch between Anakin and Obi-Wan, and then Yoda and Palpatine is really cool too. I think it was so cool to see Yoda and Palpatine fight as well, like the master of like the Jedi and the master of the Sith, like the two big boys going at it. It was a really cool thing. And when Yoda walks through and then just throws the guards against the wall, I thought that was quite funny. And Yoda's got some amazing lines in that scene too. So I think Yoda in this film he's total badass. Just total badass.
It's so good. Like, especially when Obi-Wan cuts Anakin's legs off. I don't know why that makes me laugh.
You sick man.
It's just because he's such a bitch, and it's like, yes, die.
I love the scene where the kids are like, "Master Skywalker, there are too many of them. What are we gonna do?" Zoom.
I do think it obviously needed to happen, but Anakin goes full Sith a bit too quickly.
Yeah, it goes 0 to 100.
He goes from thinking, hang on, it's not the Jedi way to kill a Sith Lord. He should stand on trial. So helps Palpatine against Windu. To you know what? Fine, let's kill every youngling. Also, why does Padme act shocked that he killed kids?
He's done it before. He'll do it again.
Because these were like people and not just sand mutants.
Well,
my God!
Full on racism.
Tusken Raiders have rights too.
Well, screw 'em. No, I don't think they shouldn't be able to vote, in my opinion. The thing is, he goes from
that's a democratic system.
Anakin goes from "What have I done?" to "Well, gotta kill some kids now" in about 10 minutes. It is rushed. Although I get the restraints they have in making a film, but I just time-wise, but yeah. But you know what? I don't even care that much because I would actually just enjoy this film so much.
Yeah, find out Padme's preggers might have ruined them a bit.
Yeah, I mean, his mum's died, Padme's pregnant, he's having nightmares that Padme's going to die after he had nightmares that his mum's going to die, and then his mum actually did die, so now he thinks Padme's actually going to die. And then, because of all that, he ends up being the reason that Padme dies. That's a bit of an unfortunate life.
Unless you believe in the theory that that Palpatine took Padme's life force.
That is the way.
Which is much better than she died of a broken heart.
She lost the will to live.
See, they shouldn't have said that. They should have just said because he choked her, gave her a concussion or something, and then the complications, like something like that. I literally choked her out of consciousness. Say that's the reason she dies at childbirth. Why not? Why not have that? But whatever.
She appears to be losing the will to live.
For me, that's the reason.
Losing the will to live. What is this? The bloody Dark Ages?
That's a robot saying that as well. What robot has been programmed to believe that people just stop trying to live?
Lost the will.
Yeah. I don't know why they didn't just say, "Oh, she's died because of something to her brain," and then you go, "Oh, because of Anakin." Right, fair enough. But yeah, the fight between Anakin and Obi-Wan, best ever in Star Wars, easily. Well, the one in the first film was also amazing, but this is just the visuals and everything. It's great, and it fits neatly with it's so good that they managed to actually find a good way to have Anakin turn from human to completely burnt up, robotic man. I think they did a good job. Should we take a vote?
Hang on, I just want to say one more thing about losing the will to live.
Yeah.
She lost the will to live knowing she's gonna be a mother.
Yeah.
She was gonna be a mum and thought, "Oh, fuck this! I'm not getting on that."
Single parenthood's hard, man.
She lost the will to live knowing she had kids on the way.
Yeah, she really, that meme with Michael Jordan. It's like, fuck them kids. that was Padme. She was like, screw this, I'm out, peace out.
What an actual awful woman.
I know, yeah. It makes Anakin turn into the most evil person in the universe, and then doesn't even try and take care of the kid. Awful, yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say something awful then, but I don't know whether I want to.
Oh, I mean, go for it.
Oh, fuck it. That pussy must have been good for him to do that.
Oh my! I wasn't thinking.
Well, I didn't think it was gonna be that.
I'm zoned out a bit because I don't know that much to say about this. Listen back in and I hear that. That's incredible.
Anyway, I think that's a good time to end the review on this film.
No, it's not.
I also like last thing, the scene where he rises up as Darth Vader for the first time. That's quite cool. Though he didn't need to do the whole no at the end. Well, it was still cool nonetheless, and seeing Palpatine do that smile and everything, that was cool. I would say this is a Jedi masterpiece. I love this film.
Fuck off.
I love this film. I don't
know. Strong with this one.
But yeah, go on. This is a fun film, but it's still a prequel film.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
She lost the will to live, Ritson.
I'm pretty sure you could point out several really stupid things in the original trilogy, but you don't care because they're actually just really entertaining films anyway.
Yeah, but Ben Kenobi didn't die because he lost the will to live. He actually got decapitated.
Well, actually got cut in half and then disappeared.
Actually, he got neither. He became one with the Force.
He did. He became one with the Force, yeah. But anyway, this is maybe my favorite Star Wars film.
Oh my god, we've completely forgotten about Order 66.
Oh my god, yeah, what a scene. Yeah. That's amazing. That makes up for losing the will to live. What an amazing scene and like terrible, harrowing scene that was. Amazing that. To see, the Jedi, they were in their prime and now all of a sudden they're completely destroyed, taken apart by one order.
It wasn't Tusken Raiders, so it meant it was sad.
Yeah,
they didn't have masks on.
I mean, Plo Koon did.
Yeah, I think
he was the only one that I felt bad for dying.
That was a good thing too. They explained really well. They had a really good storyline for how the Jedi were destroyed for the original trilogy. So that's why I put it in the top tier. I think they had to make sure that everyone was in the right places to start off the original trilogy, and I think they did a fantastic job, and they made it as entertaining as they possibly could have. Granted, losing to the will to live was stupid, and they could have just said complications because of the concussion or something, but whatever.
Or giving birth to twins.
Yeah, it's whatever. You know what? They had to have the twins. It's fine. I'm fine with it. I think it was great.
Is it just me, or did Padme never look pregnant?
Yeah, I noticed that as well. Actually, I was like, hang on a second, she's 9 months.
They were very
twins as well.
born children.
Yeah, twins.
As well, usually twice the size.
Luke and Leia must have been really small babies, little midget babies.
They're just eggs. They just come out as eggs and just hatch.
Yeah, or they were like they just sprung out like a 3D book, and it's like, okay, and now they're out. Oh my god, look how big they are. Right. Anyway, let's finalize this. Well, I said Jedi masterpiece. Collins, you said the Force is strong with this one.
That's what Mangan said.
And I
do
agree.
agree with him because
Yeah.
as much as I love this film, the villains are still rubbish, and there's still so many stupid plot holes and boneheaded decisions.
Well, Paddy, save me.
I'm not going to save you, I'm afraid. The Force is strong with this. I think it's a really entertaining film, but the story is not as good as some of the others. So it's second tier for me.
I think it's the most rewatchable film of the entire saga.
It's because you keep going on prequel memes.
No. I mean, I do love the prequel memes, but not just because of Revenge of the Sith. Actually, just entertains me a lot. But anyway.
Do you know, actually, seeing as we're about to leave Haven behind now, do you know that Leonardo DiCaprio met with George Lucas to be Anakin?
Oh my god.
Oh, that would have been better.
That would have been so much better.
As well as Paul Walker.
I wasn't.
No jokes. No jokes.
Well,
I was so close to doing it.
The prequels were a car crash without him anyway.
Oh, that was
Oh.
I will say, actually, I think Hayden Christensen, as a whole, was a good actor in his two roles. It's just he had the worst scripts in the world to work with.
Yeah, I don't think his acting was that bad.
Oh yeah, they just made him overly corny and overly whiny.
It was the dialogue. The dialogue sucked.
Yeah.
So much.
George, you can't write romance.
Yeah, no, he really can't.
At all.
I mean, that's not surprising from essentially a comic book nerd.
Right. Okay, so we've left it behind. Hayden did actually. I think he did a good job with what he was given. The criticism to him was way over the top. Also, before we leave the prequel trilogy behind, I just want to say that I think the prequels were a lot better than people actually give them credit for. They're not classics, although I think Revenge of the Sith is, but whatever. I think if you're a new person, you've never watched Star Wars before, and you watch them in chronological order, I think you like the prequels a lot more than you do if you watch the original trilogy first and then the prequels.
See, that's exactly the point. The prequel trilogy is the same as the original trilogy in the fact that they are primarily kid family movies.
Mm.
To be fair, I watched the prequel trilogy first in chronological order, and I still thought they were the worst trilogy out of the three. So
You just wait. Right, A New Hope. Should we get onto that? Oh no, sorry.
No,
Sorry.
No.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, we got to do the side stories.
We do, yeah. Right. Let's Solo came first, so Collins, do you want to take us away with this one?
Go ahead, yeah, sure. Solo, the one character everyone wanted to know the backstory of, Han Solo, and boy did we get it. We found out how we got the Millennium Falcon. We found out how we met Chewie. We found out about his girlfriend that was never in any of the other films. Why did this movie exist?
I don't want to see Han Solo get a girlfriend. He's only got one princess.
Yeah, well, and we also find out how he got his blaster. So there's
True.
that.
Yeah, I don't worry. Don't get me wrong. I like Han Solo as a character, but we don't need to know that much about him. If we're honest, his backstory is not that interesting. However, I still think they did a decent job of telling it. I think it got a lot of hate. The film.
Well, no, it didn't get a lot of hate. It was the simple fact that it came out after Last Jedi.
Well, maybe so. No, but I was expecting it to be terrible because I had a lot of criticism. But it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be, and it got like a 6.9 on IMDb, which is not terrible at all.
That's pretty decent.
But I actually really like it. I think it's great. A heist movie set in the Star Wars universe is a fantastic idea. It just doesn't need to be a movie where you're describing it as learn how Han Solo became how he is. You could have just had it be, yeah, it's a heist movie in the Star Wars universe and Han Solo's there, but just have him be Han Solo.
Yeah.
I didn't need 12-year-old Han Solo joining the Empire.
That was an interesting little twist that he used to be in the Empire. Oh, and now he got his name. How he got the name Solo.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what? I actually liked it.
No.
It's cringy, and it's the same with Chewbacca. It's like, oh, Chewbacca, I'm going to need something shorter to so I don't have to say that every time. You know, it's just like it's so set up and it's quite cringy, but
yeah, that's what it. See, I think this is actually. I actually watched this yesterday as well. What makes this not a great film is the fact that I watched this yesterday and I can't remember the names of any of the villains at all. I can't remember. I already can't remember the names of the villains.
Dryden Foster. Oh, there's one.
Darth Maul.
Which? Oh well, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Again, he made his 10-second cameo.
Let's talk about that. So it has this major, big sort of like tease for like a sequel. So you got Darth Maul. You know, let's be honest. If you've been watching like Rebels and Clone Wars, you know he's alive, but he's actually back in movie form. And what do they say? They say it's very unlikely it's going to be a sequel. So we're not even going to know what happens next to Han Solo's girlfriend, who we don't really care about. But let's be honest, fuck him.
Yeah, well, I don't know why they set up for a sequel in the first place. Because I mean, surely one film would be enough for Han Solo. I mean, even one film might be too much. You know to be honest, for Han Solo,
a sequel with like Darth Maul as like a main character. Oh.
Do they literally want to end it so when it ends, Han and Chewie are just in the cantina in Mos Eisley, and Ben Kenobi and Luke walk in? Is that how they want to finish it?
I kind of would like that in a way.
I would not be surprised whatsoever.
I wouldn't be surprised, but I also wouldn't mind. Also, to be fair though, Emilia Clarke's in this, so Heart Eyes.
Yeah, but her character's just kind of pointless, and no one really cares about her.
She becomes leader of the drug empire.
I wanted her to be fuming, like when she saw Han, because he basically left her. And
no,
she had to make her own way out.
No, he was trying to come back for her though, but
and she told him to go. Like, is like nothing really he could do.
But I wanted to be different because it's just it was so cheesy, in my opinion.
I didn't mind it at all, but what I would have liked to know is she said, "You wouldn't look at me the same if you'd known what I'd have done." I was like, "No, exactly. Kira, what have you done? What have you done?"
Yeah, I thought they were going to explain that at some point.
I killed 50 Tusken Raiders just for the fun.
I think I liked this film more than I did just for Emilia Clarke, to be honest. So, you know,
we haven't even talked about the best character yet, though, lads.
God, if you'd say that, droid, I swear to God.
Lando's love interest.
The droid. Oh my God. I mean, who's casting Phoebe Waller-Bridge in a Star Wars movie?
Well, I mean, you casted her voice. That's it.
I know, but even just her voice, like, what's going on there?
Actually, I will say, Donald Glover as Lando Calrissian was so good.
Oh, I fully believe it.
I fully believe that was Lando.
That was really good. I enjoyed that whole, card game scene where they were like back and forth, like really witty stuff. And then when he gets his revenge on him at the end, I did actually
I like that. I like that sort of origin story between Han and him. That was good. I like Donald Glover.
We also got to see we also got to see that run. What was it, the castle run where he does it in under 12 parsecs? Yeah. I thought, oh well, there you go. I mean, the reason why this film isn't great is it's simply based off of what we've already been told in like the original trilogy, and it's kind of just took a lot of those things and gone, well, this is how this happened. There we go.
It's kind of cool to see it.
But no, exactly. I'm not saying it's bad because of that. I'm saying it's not great because of that, because they didn't add like enough of stuff in. It was kind of, but the thing is, because of that stuff and the kind of nostalgia and the references, I did like it at the same time. So I was kind of in a middle ground with the film.
It's a pointless film that has no reason to exist, but I really liked it. And I'll be honest, every time Han and Chewie were on screen together, it was just brilliant.
Yeah, I did like the actor who played Han Solo as well. I think
he was good. Yeah, Alden Ehrenreich, I was about to say, he really does play like a young Harrison Ford to me. I thought he did a really good job.
Yeah, like really sort of just arrogant but kind of likable.
Yeah. And Woody Harrelson as well. I thought he did a great job as the villain.
Yeah, I feel like
it was a bit too obvious he was going to betray them.
Yeah.
He kept saying every other line was, "You can't trust me."
I feel like Woody Harrelson plays like the same character in every film. Just plays like the bad guy who you think might be a bit.
He's very much been typecast.
Yeah.
About the young Han Solo thing, what I really liked, I think the most Han Solo moment is when they're saying about doing this, mission to try and make it up to that villain with the weird scars on his face, and like, well, we need a ship and an excellent pilot. It's like, well, you just need the ship. You've already got the excellent pilot, and then points at himself with a smug look. And I was like, that's very Han Solo. I was like, I think, yeah, you're right. The actor did a really good job. Yeah, I don't know. Is there anything else?
It's not Harrison Ford. That's what always worried me about this film. It's not Harrison Ford.
But it couldn't be.
Well, no, it couldn't have been, so it couldn't be made. Like, let's be honest, it wasn't the most necessary thing that we could have ever seen.
No, but that doesn't...
but Disney owns Star Wars now.
They could have made so much. The next film that we'll talk about is what it could, like, is an example of what they could do.
Yeah. All right, let's take a vote and get onto that film then, shall we? I would say entertaining.
Yeah, entertaining.
I think this is a really easy one for me. I think it
Probably
just fits around, not bad, not good, some good stuff, but at the same time doesn't really add too much. Not necessary, but enjoyable. So,
yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, I agree. Entertaining, unanimous.
Oh, very good. You know what? That was the one film I was almost certain we'd like all be on the same ground with. I don't know why.
I enjoyed it, but it's nothing special. That's pretty much the summary of the film.
Yeah.
So Rogue One, and I know someone might want to be leading with this one, but I think I might as well, because I'm fairly certain I'm going to start an argument. This film's so fucking boring until the last 20 minutes.
Get fucked.
Yeah, wow. There we go. No, this film is so overrated. The ending scene is brilliant. Darth Vader is brilliant. Everything else is just so overrated. They just travel for a bit.
I'm actually I'm stunned.
Jin, or whatever her name is a rubbish character.
I am stunned. This is one of my favourite Star Wars that I've seen in cinemas. I loved this film. I loved everything about it. I loved the characters. One of my favourite scenes is in the middle with Darth, what's his name? The bad guy going to see Vader. And you get proper James Earl Jones Vader.
I told you. Darth Vader's fantastic, isn't it? Ritzen's in so much silence that I'm just going to keep speaking until he can get himself back together. Saw Gerrera, completely pointless in the film.
Oh, for God's sake! Okay,
Well,
I
he
get
is.
what you mean. Yeah.
He is. He is. They go to they go to the planet. They see Saw. Saw goes, "Oh, can I trust you? Trust them. Oh, I trust you, but I'm actually going to die on the planet for no reason." There is no reason he can't go with them. It's just the simple factor of they didn't actually.
Have you seen him? He's a walking A&E tank.
What? Pardon?
Have you seen him? He's a walking A&E tank. It's not like he can outrun it.
They had. Oh, right, yeah, they were just able to make it to the ship and fly away in time.
He was, but he couldn't even walk. He was like one of those tin men, you see.
He was able to walk fine with every other scene he was in.
Did you ever see him run?
Yeah,
When?
in every battle scene he's been in, he's always been that way.
Saul Guerrero.
Yeah, Saw Gerrera, that's not like the first time Saw Gerrera's been used.
Yeah, in battle scenes about 10, 15 years before.
Nah, look. Nah, I'm sorry. It's just completely. There's no need to have him in the film.
He's literally no, because he needed to die. He's been used in the Clone Wars. He's been used in Rebels. He's a
Okay.
freedom fighter.
Have him die with everyone else at the end of the film.
He did die with everyone. He died on fucking what was it? The car.
He didn't die with everyone else.
He wasn't gonna die there
Why not?
because he was so slow. He was so slow. Oh my God. He was literally a tuna can on legs.
No, he easily could have got there.
Oh my God. Paddy, you've seen this. What do you think?
I'm not the best person to ask, but I remember seeing it. I think it's one of the most perfect Star Wars films I've seen.
Thank you.
I
agree.
think it's almost perfection. Like I think it's so well done. And from what I remember, some of the scenes with the CGI of some of the old characters that died was brilliant as well. And I think it all comes together in a great movie.
I agree. I think it's a really entertaining film myself. It fills obviously the plot hole of the Death Star's weakness and stuff like that. I don't know if you've already talked about that because I was away for a couple of minutes there. But no, I just think this is a really good film as a spin-off. I think this is as good as they really could have done for a film.
Agree.
Yeah, because if there's one thing we needed, it was a movie to explain why there was a hole in the Death Star.
I mean, yeah, because you get all that stuff during New Hope saying people died to get this information, so we actually know who they were, like what they were about, like the fact that her father was the man who created the what would you call it? That weakness in the Death Star.
The little
hatch.
Yeah, I get what you mean. The holes that they had to shoot the bullet in to start the chain reaction.
The exhaust port.
There you go.
But I don't get why you hate it so much.
It's completely pointless for the first hour. It's just traveling for no reason. Oh no, I'm gonna go save my dad, and oh no, he's dead. Why does that then make her want to join the Alliance more? Because what? Okay, we couldn't. Okay, so the plan was for you to assassinate my father, but you decided against it at the last minute because it'd be a bit of a dick move to do. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, sure, I'll join you now. You were gonna kill me, Dad, but yeah, sure.
That was basically Star Wars in a nutshell. What you just said is it's Star Wars in a nutshell.
No, it's not.
3 of the movies about a son trying to kill his dad.
Yeah, and in one of them, they're the villain.
Anyway, this is not going to get resolved, so can we just vote?
It's a Jedi masterpiece.
I'd say the Force is strong with this one. I think it's very good, but it's not. It doesn't deserve to be alongside the other films we're going to put there.
So uncivilized.
Bloody hell.
It's got a great ending, and I loved Vader in it. But people look at that ending and think that the rest of the film was as good as it was.
Paddy?
Jedi masterpiece.
Alright, so should we put it in the Force is strong with this one since...
No, because 2 votes went to Jedi masterpiece.
2 votes, mate.
So if I say so uncivilized, where does it go then?
You then average it out. But
Yeah.
you didn't say so uncivilized. You said the Force is strong with this one.
I know, but well, here's the thing: the average wouldn't work out because it'd be in between the Force is strong.
Yeah, but you're just doing it to be petty, so fuck you.
Now you're being awkward now. In that situation, we just have to like hash it out.
Now, in that situation, Ritten's vote would no longer count.
Why couldn't you just say the Force is strong with this one, Cons?
Because it's a crap film.
It's a good film.
No, it's not.
It's good. You could have. You could have said the same as me, and we could have maybe put it down to a tier. But
Yeah, I've said that I think this film is worse than some of the people. but I think it should be in the second top tier.
Listen, it doesn't matter if it doesn't make sense, Collins. Right? You can be illogical. It's fine. No one can say your vote isn't what your vote is. You know. I'm just saying. Well, fine. It's a very good film. You guys want to put it at the top tier? So be it.
Well, you have no say. It's there.
It's my podcast, damn it.
Ritten's taken this worse than I have. I hate this film.
I just don't think it deserves to be at the top. I think that's a bit overboard, but never mind.
I don't think it deserves to be seen as a good film.
Okay. Well, okay. Let's move on to some films I think we'll mostly agree with, if not unanimously agree with. So now we will actually get onto A New Hope, the first Star Wars film that ever came out and revolutionized the genre. An absolute classic. It brought in billions in box office. You know, one of the biggest films ever made by the time it was released, and still is, really, isn't it? Started, you know, a perfect start for a trilogy. That wasn't actually meant to be a trilogy in the first place, but we got there, and it's because this film was actually just so damn good. What do you guys think?
John Williams, Rising of the Two Sons, one of the best scores in history.
It's very good. I still think it's the worst of that trilogy, though.
Ooh,
It's very good, though. I mean, it's absolutely classic. You got that classic scene with Princess Leia with the hologram saying "You're our only hope." There's classic scenes. The Obi-Wan Kenobi, and he fights Darth. Obi-Wan Kenobi's death is very strange, though. The way he just disappears, like he just evaporates out
one
thin
with
air.
the Force,
so he could become a Force ghost,
which he learned from Liam Neeson.
A Force ghost, love it.
Yeah.
One thing, a main thing I wanted to point out with these films, I'm blown away by the visual effects. Like this came out in 1977. The visual effects are outstanding for that era.
What did you watch it on?
What do you mean?
How did you watch it?
On Disney Plus.
Okay, so you haven't watched the original one, so they're not the 1977 graphics.
No, but it's not the graphics. It's just all the visual effects and everything. Like, just mistakes in it. There's moments where you go, Jesus Christ! But for a 1977 film, considering some of the other around that time, I mean, Batman vs Robin, the George Clooney one, came out like 1997, like 20 years after, and the visual effects are way worse in that one than this Star Wars film.
Yeah, Paddy, the visual effects got a massive like reskinned and everything. They're not the same. They're not the same visual effects as the 1977 ones. That's the point that I'm bringing out.
It was still revolutionary at the time.
They were still revolutionary at the time, yeah. But like,
so it's a bit of a tedious point, really. They revolutionized, you know, the industry. And so for that reason, even though they did get an update and a bit of a sharpen up,
Bit of polish.
yeah, bit of polish, bit of shoe polish.
Even rough around the edges, that's still
Exactly,
quality for that time era.
Yeah, you got so many classic scenes. The whole looking into the two suns in the distance, as Paddy said, the scene with Leia and R2D2. The first fight on that rebel ship, actually, the first shot ever where you see the little ship go across, and then you see this massive Star Destroyer, ominous to a T, shooting at this little ship. And oh my god! And then the first fight when they infiltrate that ship and they have blasters all over the place. I actually really like that scene. I don't know why.
Jar Jar Binks runs out, and you think, here we go.
Yeah. Yeah, and then, Darth Vader walks out and you're like, that guy is definitely the most evil man you could ever imagine.
I do wonder what happened to Jar Jar, because he was a senator in Star Wars 2 and 3.
Hopefully he got shot in the head.
Mate, I'm telling you, Star Wars Episode 10, he's going to return. It's all going to be him all along.
You know what? I'm looking at this. I don't even care if we're recording right now. I'm seeing what happens to Jar Jar Binks.
All right.
Okay.
Don't ruin
While
it.
we're doing that, let's talk about why this is a very good film.
Yeah.
Luke is a great stand-in. He is once again a complete Gary Stu. He just automatically is amazing at everything.
No.
Was that Chewbacca?
Oh.
That's what it sounded.
No, I don't think so, because he starts out as this farm boy, and he's shown to be good with droids, and he can apparently he's a bit of a pilot, but he's not strong. He needs Obi-Wan to save him from the Sand People, because he gets his ass kicked easily.
Yeah.
Without Obi-Wan, he would have been dead. Then he needs Obi-Wan and Han and Leia. He needs all of them to get out of the Death Star. Again, like, he wasn't that much help. He needed those companions really badly. Otherwise, he was screwed. Without them making sacrifices and coming up with plans and stuff, he would have been dead in the first film.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that whole, that Mary Sue type thing, it's a bit too much. Especially
right. Okay. So
when we
the
get onto all the films.
amazing pilot that you're saying about, he
Mhm.
never proves that.
No, but the fact that we hear about it beforehand actually gives us a bit of backstory.
When
he used to shoot what's the name? Womprats with his T-16 back home.
Yeah, and
which,
also,
by the way, means he's a fucking psychopath.
we also, well, it's Star Wars. Who cares? What was it? We hear about him wanting to go to the academy for the rebels and everything. So we know he's keen in piloting. We know he's talented. Anyway, and obviously,
Why do the rebels have an academy? Actually,
what? Can we not nitpick it? Can we not nitpick? We hear about his piloting skills, so I don't think that's about the.
And his dad was a great pilot, so you kind of like
exactly.
the old pilot gene.
Exactly.
But in
also,
these movies, that happens.
Also, not only has he got practice with pilots and ships and stuff, he's obviously incredibly powerful in the Force, blah blah blah, which obviously helps. Now, it would be really bad if you had a film where you introduced a main character and you didn't mention any piloting skills, and then all of a sudden they were a better pilot than anyone else you've ever seen in the saga. That would be really bad storytelling, Collins. I mean, imagine if they ever did that. What a joke that would be. That was
I'm missing something.
You'll find.
I'm just reading about Jar Jar Binks.
You'll find out in a couple films' time, Paddy.
He becomes a clown.
Excuse me.
I heard something.
Yeah,
about...
mate, he's Ronald McDonald.
No, I obviously Luke is strong and whatever, Collins. So I know that, but we know, he's a Skywalker, so of course he's going to be strong. But the thing is, it's not like he's overpowered, especially in the first film. And I was going to say something else, but that's in the second film, or the fifth. So we'll get on to that anyway. But no, this clearly, I don't think we need to say too much more about this. It's just a classic. It's a classic film, and it's what started this amazing saga. and universe that we all love if we discount certain films that have come out recently.
Oh my word, he did become a clown. That's
Performer.
Doesn't surprise me that, you know.
He
that's
basically was
amazing.
Was a bit of a clown.
I actually can't.
Yeah, yeah. Look, this is obviously a great film, but Luke does just automatically end up good at everything. There's no reason to try and argue against that.
There is, for all the stuff I said, and then finally, because he had Obi-Wan, that mentor figure for him, you know, that father figure almost. At the end, he hears the voice of "Use the Force, trust your initiative," and he does, and that is when you start to see the transformation into him becoming finally a Jedi, because he starts to use the Force, right? Because of Obi-Wan, because he's been like taught, because they did that bit of training in the Falcon with the little droid and everything. Uses instincts, all the rest of it.
20 minutes training becomes worthy of a 1 in a million shot.
No, come on. Well, okay, yeah, it's unlikely, but Collins, it's Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
we need a little bit.
My entire point is every main character is a Mary Sue. That's just what they are. Star Wars are power fantasy films.
Yeah, but Luke's actually got a bit of an arc. He's got an arc. He needs his companions to save his arse.
Yeah, but when you say that about every main character in every like fantasy sort of role,
yeah.
So you're not really angry.
Well, there we go.
You're not really angry at Star Wars. You're just angry at the way they wrote.
Listen.
Yeah.
All right. But this isn't good. This just isn't going to be resolved, is it? Let's just say Jedi masterpiece.
Force is strong with this one.
Jedi masterpiece. Jedi masterpiece.
Force is strong with this one for me.
Right, well, it's my podcast, so Jedi masterpiece. That's the only reason.
I actually don't know what we do in this situation. Usually it was just whoever's suggestion it was, but I mean.
All right, hang on. I've got a coin here.
Oh, this is how we're doing it.
It's gonna have to be. It could be here for days.
It's 8.6 out of 10 on IMDb, 92% on Rotten Tomatoes. You know, it's
right. That's other people's opinion.
Written head or
base
tails.
This on ours.
Yeah, no, it's brilliant, but it's just not as entertaining for me as the other ones.
Written heads or tails?
Heads.
Right, you can hear this. You'll hear this. Oh shit! It was.
I can't see it, so I don't know what it's like.
I'd like a picture, please.
Okay.
I'm not bothered about pictures. Just be honest.
It was heads.
All right.
Oh, was it?
Jedi masterpiece. It is.
Where it belongs.
The thing
I'm not mad at that.
There was no win in that, because if I said it was tails, you'd have probably went, "Oh, you bet you're just saying that."
You voted for Jedi masterpiece?
Yeah, I just so happened it turned out to be heads.
So if you ended up saying that it was the one that wasn't Jedi masterpiece, we were all gonna go, "Oh, you're just saying it."
Well, probably written would have.
Even though you're on his side.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Collins. It doesn't matter. Stop arguing with everything people say.
Right. So, Paddy, how about you lead us with the next
don't
book?
make me lead one. No, actually, to be fair, this is a good one for me to lead on, because this is my like probably favorite one of every single one. I think it's like the nucleus of the entire Star Wars franchise. I feel like it's like the core of the franchise. It's like it's got the most like quotable lines. It's got the most iconic scenes. Like you think about the Luke, I am your father. Han Solo saying, "I love you, I know." It's brilliant.
Yeah, it is the best. It is the best ever Star Wars film. It's the best one ever made. There's no real denying that. Like, it's everything about it's just so good. The battles on Hoth, the Jedi training from Yoda. Like, you think, oh, this guy can't be a Jedi. He's so old. The betrayal on Bespin. Like you said, I am your father. The fight, his arm being cut off. It's so good.
Well,
I don't-
I've been told that I disagree with what everyone says at every moment possible. So that means that I must think this is the worst film in existence.
Wouldn't surprise me.
It wouldn't shock
Of
me.
course it's not. It's the fucking best Star Wars film. It's everyone's favorite Star Wars film.
It's great, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
The one of the biggest, plot twists in cinema history of Darth Vader being Luke's father after Luke idolizing his father and wanting to be a Jedi just like him because he was killed and all the rest of it.
Father.
Yeah, just so good, so good. And you know what? Again, the whole Mary Sue thing that Collins said before, and Luke gets his arse kicked by Vader. Like, he gets his arse kicked so badly. Vader's just toying with him and then cuts his arm off.
Yeah, I'll give you that. He definitely is like, yeah, I'll give you that.
See, that's the good thing about this lead character is he suffers damage and losses, and that's really good. Also, Lando betraying Han and the group, but out of necessity and having no other option. That's really cool too. And we have Boba Fett too. Again, another good thing.
Oh no, Boba Fett's the most overrated character in cinema.
Oh,
He's done it! He's done it!
He's
I'm sorry. He has 5 lines in all out of every movie he's in. He has 5 lines, and one of them is a Wilhelm scream.
You just got the epic rock battles of history.
You got
Nah,
that?
he's not a good character. I don't know why he's.
Oh wow! It's almost like people are allowed to have different opinions, man.
Yeah. No, here's the thing.
Oh my god! Shut the fuck up!
I actually agree with Collins in that he's actually really overrated, but I still think he's cool.
He's a good character.
I don't think he's a good character. There's
awesome
nothing to it.
It's awesome armor. He's not a good character.
Yeah, it's like Darth Maul. He looks awesome, but he's not a good character. Like, nothing's done with him.
You didn't think Darth Maul was a good character?
When Boba Fett
No, of
gets
course he's not.
into Mandalorian season 2, then we'll say he's a good character.
I think Darth Maul could have been a good character. Darth Maul could have been a good character, but he just isn't, is he? There's nothing to him.
Yeah, Darth Maul's good because of Clone Wars and Rebels, man. You've admitted that.
Oh. He was good in Phantom Menace anyway. He just should actually talk to Qui-Gon.
I'm surprised. Is Boba Fett really rated as like the top character?
You've seen us so popular just because he looks cool.
That's mad because he's crap.
There's
nothing to him.
Bounty hunter as well.
But there's like nothing to him.
His also first appearance was in the holiday special.
I mean, we don't talk about the holiday special.
We also, in Empire Strikes Back, let's switch it up. We see Force Ghost for the first time. So that's good. That was cool. No. Yeah, we see Luke actually use the Force for the first time, like properly, when he gets his lightsaber out of the ice, or the snow, I should say, and cuts himself free. I don't know how the monster hung him up with the ice in the first place, instead of just
held them in place for half an hour
instead
and then
of just
let go really gently.
Instead of just eating him straight away. Whatever, it's fine. You can point out plot holes in any film, really, so it's not really a big deal. Yeah.
We got an entire film out of one plot hole, though.
But it was a good film. Well, you don't think so, but most people do. What else is there to say about this film? What have we missed?
Too much. There's too much to say about this film. It just
That's
shows how good it is, really.
Yeah, true.
But I mean, it literally is. As I said, it's the nucleus of the whole Star Wars series. If you're saying a casual fan never seen it before, well, it wouldn't be a fan then. But if someone's never seen it before, you say, if I just want to watch one movie, you'd say this one.
Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker.
You better stop right there before I lose my shit. Oh my god!
Not yet. This film is everything Star Wars is.
What's really good about this, another thing, not just the one thing that's actually really good, is we're finally introduced to the Emperor. He gets talked about a little bit in A New Hope, We don't ever see him. We don't really know what's the Emperor. But then we see Darth Vader kneeling down to this even more powerful being. What? How could
Say what?
What?
What is this? The Wendy Williams show? Come on.
No, but that was quite cool, and we hear that he's an offspring of Anakin Skywalker. And we're like, But we did gives nothing away that Vader's actually his father, which is cool.
The Emperor is such a cool villain, isn't it? It's just so his voice is just so intimidating. It's just so cool.
Tell Rise of Skywalker.
Dark side.
Yeah, it's much scarier when he doesn't mind you, but nice attempt.
Yeah, well, Oh, go on, let's get Ritten's Jar Jar Binks accent out of it.
I already did one line of Yoda, so that's me sorted for the rest.
Shall we vote?
Yeah, well,
There's no point.
So,
It's a Jedi masterpiece.
An absolute masterpiece.
It's this one, isn't it? Just trying
I was
trying to get me pictures right.
What?
Yeah, it's that one. Cool.
Oh, we're getting closer to the later ones, and I don't want to get into them.
Well, let's get the final one of this trilogy out of the way.
Oh no, there's a storm coming.
It is. It's cloudy outside.
The tension is building already in the core. You can feel it a mile away. Well, let's just do. I can't even remember the name of it.
Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, that just shows what fan I am.
Oh, filthy casual.
You know what? My least favorite of the original trilogy.
And I agree. I still think it's a really good film, and I really enjoy it. But I think the other two just are better.
Get the Ewoks out. We'll talk.
Oh god, yeah, the Ewoks.
There's like 2 spin-off films of Ewoks.
Oh my god!
Because
why aren't they being talked about today?
Well, I mean,
was it a David Attenborough documentary?
Honestly, I don't know. I was googling in case we missed any spin-offs, and 2 Ewok films came up, and I was like, why did they make a film about Ewok? I mean, they're very cute.
They are very cute, yeah.
But that's about it.
I mean, they tried to burn the group alive until Luke makes the appearance that C-3PO was gone.
Them alive. They tried to cook them.
But
much more
that's burning them alive.
My bad. Sorry.
I didn't know there was a difference between burning alive and cooking.
You want to know something? The term Ewok isn't said in the entire film.
Yeah, I was thinking that because I couldn't remember what those little characters were called, and I was thinking, they'll say it at some point, and they didn't.
They are only credited afterwards, so it said Ewok 1 or whatever, and that's what they're called, Ewoks. I thought that was interesting that they're never actually called upon their name as a species.
Warwick Davis played one of them.
Oh, okay.
Not sure which one.
Listen,
was it that his big break? Because he's in loads of Star Wars, isn't he?
Well, I remember he was in Solo.
He's in Phantom Menace as well.
I mean, he gets he gets this tiny little part where you just see his face.
That's
guys,
probably not the right word to use.
Oh my god, yeah.
Needed in a Star Wars film, they call Warwick Davis.
But it's couldn't they just be in the Solo movie, they didn't need a short face.
No, they did that as a cameo. I think he is literally there for 5 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it was just a kind of nice homage or whatever. But
yeah,
but it was just funny. It's funny.
Yeah. I think the biggest problem Return of the Jedi has got is it's a bit too split up.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean?
They spend a lot of time on Endor too, a lot of time.
Luke spends the opening 10 minutes with the rest of the group, and then goes off on his own.
Mm.
Yeah.
But I kind of like that. I kind of like that he's kind of on his own little. He's on his own little journey with his father.
Yeah, the 2 different missions. So Luke trying to get Vader and the Emperor, and then the battle on Endor and everything, and then you've got the battle in space as well. You got those 3 different battles. Maybe that's too many. Maybe you just need 2.
I think actually the biggest thing it does is it starts more like a prequel than it does an original. Do you know what I'm about? 4 and 5, they start with action set pieces. 6, you have to wait quite a bit for the action set piece to actually happen.
But you've still got like the Rancor and Jabba's palace and stuff like that.
Yeah. But you have to wait a while to get to it.
Oh, also, can we? I can't believe we've missed this. Can we just talk about the whole "What are you doing, step bro?" Little cameo within this. So, yeah, I know, but we missed it. So let's talk about it. Brother and sister have a little snog.
Oh yeah, no, and you know what? Leia says, I think I've always known that we were
Lucas.
I'm like,
George
hold on a minute.
Lucas tries to insist that he definitely planned out all 3 films together at once. Bullshit.
I think I've always known that you're.
I've always known.
That's
and you're just a bit of a wrong'un then.
That's why, in front of Han, to make him jealous, I snogged my own brother. Oh, okay, Leia.
Yeah.
Starting to look at you a bit different now.
To be fair, I'd feel inadequate if someone chose their brother over me.
I mean,
yeah, but
I guess it was a valid strategy. Yeah.
No, it's not.
apart from the whole you're actually.
Thank God you're an only child, Ritson. I'll tell you that.
Look, guys, we do not know what that galaxy's incest laws are like.
I don't care about law. It's about morals.
We don't know what their morals are as well.
I don't care. Their morals are being shown towards this universe and this world. So for me, it's weird.
You're being offensive to other people's cultures.
It's a false culture.
It's George Lucas's culture.
Well, he can go do one. He's a weirdo.
Or do his own system.
This isn't. It's like Game of Thrones here, we're not having all this stuff.
Right. I think this is it's a great film still. The battle between Luke and Vader, the music when he finally goes, no, because they're like, Vader goes, maybe Leia will join me instead. And then the music along with that scene as Luke loses his shit and just starts going all over the place, surprising Vader and cutting his hand off for a bit of revenge there, although it's only robotic. So,
and Palpatine goes full on villain, and like that. It's that scene where he's talking to Luke that actually makes him the villain he is. Yeah, I'm afraid the Death Star is actually fully operational.
I love how easy it was to kill him as well. Like most powerful,
throw him down
most powerful
being, drop.
Most powerful being in the universe just picks him up and throws him down a drain or whatever. Imagine that's how they killed Thanos. True, but imagine that's how they killed Thanos though.
That would be the equivalent of them doing the Ant-Man theory of Ant-Man shrinking down, going up Thanos' butthole, and then growing.
Why did it have to be the butthole? Why couldn't it be his mouth?
Not as good.
He'd see that coming clearly.
We want the butt stuff.
Did they call that like the Thanos?
Thanos.
Thanos. Love that.
Thanos' Thanos.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, the Emperor. We finally see, and first, I think that's the first time we ever see Force lightning, isn't it? As well. And the fact that he's so powerful, he doesn't even need a lightsaber.
No, I was gonna. Oh my god! I nearly had an absolute nightmare. Then I was gonna say, oh, you saw Count Dooku do it. I was like,
yeah, I almost said that. I almost said the same thing.
Oh yeah, and he's just so evil, manipulative. He's like, your pity for the fleet has failed. I know, his lines are great. Oh, I'm afraid the deflector shield will be quite operational when your friend.
Is that meant to be C-3PO?
Oh well.
I love C-3PO. To be fair, yeah. I think it's my favorite character.
C-3PO gets a lot of bad rap for being just a really good comic relief character.
There's nothing wrong with that. Like, you
can't all be Han Solo.
Yeah. I think he's my favourite character, C-3PO. And like, he's a really a comic relief character done badly. There's nothing worse, but a comic relief character done well, there's nothing better.
Yeah. And Vader's arc finally coming good, saving his son. Just hits you in the feels, you know. And then obviously he dies. We finally get to see his face.
Bloody
It's
disgusting.
just it's well, you know what? But
What did you say?
What a minga.
blame Obi-Wan. We also see Yoda's death.
Mate, I'll be swiping
Very
left
sad.
on Tinder for him.
Bloody hell.
Oh my word!
I'm not even
Proper
sure you
shallow,
would.
you Paddy.
We see
personality, mate.
we see Yoda's death, which was again right in the feels. You know, there's a lot of good moments. It's just still why it's a great film.
Yoda's death wasn't really in the feels for me. It was just kind of just happened like quickly, and it was just like, okay, see you later.
Yeah.
To be fair, the guy was like 900 years old.
And you kind of had a feeling like
Yeah.
he's doing Obi-Wan and come back as a ghost at some point.
Yeah, exactly. So.
And then Hayden Christensen shows up as they all have a party.
True. Yeah, in the little remake they put.
We're gonna have to vote. We're gonna have to vote now because I think we need to do it. We actually need to take on the next 3.
Yeah, we need to stop.
No.
Okay.
For me, Force is strong with this one.
Same
here.
Unanimous. Okay, let's move on to the final trilogy.
Right, they're all worse than Jar Jar Binks. Right, everyone, that's been the podcast.
Oh, hang on a second. Move on to the Force Awakens, guys.
You just hear a book plop on the table.
I have a lot of points to say about this, so I'm going to let you guys go first.
Surely you want to go first if it all.
No. I'll quickly get my point across.
Okay.
It's really, really fun, but it's just A New Hope, entertaining.
Patty, have you got anything you want to say about the
I'm actually scared to say anything right now.
No, to be honest, I think with these ones, I'm going to have the least amount of knowledge out of everyone because, well, same with the other ones, but I've only seen these once and when they came out, so I've forgotten.
Yeah, I was going to say, didn't you watch them with us?
Yeah, I did. I've seen them once, like all of them once when they came out, and well, I remember enjoying this one.
So, hang on, to be fair, talking about when it came out, this film came out on my birthday, and I went to see it. And I went to see it on premiere night in America because I was living there at the time, and it was one of the most fun experiences I have had in a cinema.
Right,
no, it's an enjoyable movie, and it's a really like you get like so much nostalgia from it. You'll have seen Han Solo go and Princess Leia and that, and I think it's a good introduction to the trilogy. It's just a case of where they took it from there that is a bigger problem. Well, on a standalone movie, I think it's pretty good.
Mangan, go on.
Like Colin said, it's A New Hope. I had no interest in the villain. I hate Ben Solo. And I think Adam Driver's an alright actor. And I wasn't invested in him. You'll find this a lot.
It's interesting that you called him Ben Solo, not Kylo Ren.
Yeah, well, it doesn't. I couldn't really care, to be honest with you. That you'll find that a lot with me for the next 3 films. I just don't have any interest for the main characters.
Right, is it my turn then?
Go on.
Right. Okay. So, firstly, what happened after Return of the Jedi? How did the First Order rise when they destroyed the bad guys with a happy ending? What actually happened? Did they not put any procedures in place with the Republic? Why is the Republic and the Resistance separate entities? Are they not together? Is one working for the other? What's going on? Give us an explanation. The first scene starts with a Star Destroyer going over the camera ominously. Reminds me a little bit of another Star Wars film at the start of the trilogy, but coincidental.
Homage.
Luke Skywalker.
Homage is the word you're looking for there.
Oh, yeah. And it's okay, fine. And then we get, a hopeless hero who's about to be captured, putting a chip in a lovable droid. When have I seen that before?
It's a homage.
An all ominous, all black leader emerges.
It's a homage.
After
it's a homage.
Rebel stormtroopers. A bit like, what was that film called again?
Darth Maul.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Why does Kylo torture Poe in the ship and not right there and then on the planet where the map clearly would be in the close vicinity? Why does he waste his time? What? Oh yeah, because the movie couldn't happen. That's why. The stormtrooper situation, it gets explained eventually. Like, some other people defect from stormtroopers and run away, but surely they'd have like systems in place, something to like, make sure that this kind of thing wouldn't happen. And if people did defect, they'd be captured or something. Yeah, I mean, Finn's literally not shooting, standing around. Does no one see that? And also, if he's panicking, this is like probably like his first mission. Shouldn't he be like supervised or something?
Ritson, that's what Plasma was doing.
Oh,
he gets called to go to get reprogrammed.
Okay, fair enough.
He just runs away first.
Fair enough. But he takes his helmet off. Why does he take his? Oh, so we can see the actor's face. Sorry. And why isn't he like captured or anything? Why don't they, put him in something, lock him up? Make sure he doesn't do something stupid like go and I don't know, help release the best fighter, pilot of the enemy. Oh, that actually happens. And why is no one guarding that pilot either? Rey then meets BB-8 on the desert planet. When have I ever seen a hero, a hopeless, kind of villain, a hero on a desert planet that's not called Tatooine doing their day-to-day run into a lovable droid that happens to be crucial to the story with a map inside?
It's a homage. It's a homage.
Right, okay. Finn has a panic attack about, killing anyone, right? He can't kill. So then when he gets on the TIE fighter, what does he do? He kills all the stormtroopers in sight. Of course he does.
Kills all
Of course he does. That was a quick 0 to 100. These people are going through the same thing you've went through. They've been captured as children and taught to kill. And what do? You just blast them to smithereens. That was quick. You could have just let Poe do that. For fuck's sake. Finn, they then crash land randomly on the planet, but somehow the nearest village just happens to be the one where Rey is. That happens to have BB-8, which happens to recognize Finn because he happened to pick up Poe's jacket, who happened to forget his jacket after he escaped. That's a bit coincidental, isn't it? Rey then beats up several goons that were sent after her for the droid because she's Rey. Then she takes out Finn.
Right. That's like if I went because he's Luke. Rey lives alone on a desert planet and has to fight and scavenge to survive.
So she can be fighting skills on her own. Then takes out a guy who's been taught to kill for 20 years in a military service. Not even a battle. Not even like a whoa. He dodges a couple straight off his feet. It's a bit stupid. And maybe it's overly critical, but considering how Rey's character goes throughout these trilogies, I don't care. 3 TIE fighters chase Rey and Finn over an open ground and miss them completely. Then they get into a heap of junk, which happens to be the Millennium Falcon, which somehow happens to be on this planet, which follows on all the other coincidences I've already mentioned.
Hang on, they explained why it was on the planet?
Which such a coincidence. And then also, when they get into the Millennium Falcon and take about 2 minutes trying to start it up, the TIE fighters are just flying around them and not shooting and not hitting them at all. Anyway, Rey, somehow without any known flying experience, and she's never left the planet, she doesn't want to leave the planet, somehow pulls off some of the best maneuvers and piloting in a ship we've ever seen in the entire saga. How did you do that? I don't know. Good explanation, film. That's the actual dialogue. Then they meet Han Solo, who happens to... Didn't he somehow steal some big freighter ship on his own or something? And they fly into it thinking they've got captured and then...
I just thought, how long do we have to actually explain this? Because I didn't realise we were getting a synopsis.
You can't do this. You especially can't do this for all 3 films.
Okay, fine. I'll... Okay, so some main points. They don't seem to recognize. How is Han Solo not recognized after it's only been 30 years? He's not an urban mythical legend. How is this?
He's not like a public office figure.
He's known throughout the entire galaxy. Why does
everyone... Right. No, his name is known throughout the galaxy. If I told you, General MacArthur, one of the most famous generals in military history, who helped defeat the Nazis, you wouldn't pick him out in a lineup, would you?
Yeah, but it's the fact she doesn't seem to believe anything that he says. And then he has to explain it. Yeah, the Jedi, it was real. Yeah, it happened. The light side, the dark side. It's all real. Well, yeah. I mean, is there no records of like?
You
Why
mean
does-
like when Han Solo said that the Jedi's are there's no
I
way
think
the
that's
Force
dumb
is
as well,
real?
Collins. Though I think that's dumb as well. Like it didn't happen that long ago. Anyway. Oh, then Rey fixes the Falcon for Han after never being in the ship because she bypasses the compressor. There's just so much. This entire storyline of this film is complete coincidence. That's the entire story.
Okay, right.
It's complete
Literally, the
coincidence.
one thing that is established about Rey is that she's a good mechanic. She's a scavenger who works with tech.
And
That
she
is
has
all she
the
is known
amazing
for.
thing.
You can take all the fighting that you want. You can take the bloody lightsaber duel with Kylo Ren. That's the most stupid thing in the world. But she's a mechanic, and it's established that she's a great mechanic. You can't argue that.
Okay, fine. She has, one skill that seems reasonable. That's fair enough. Oh, and they have a planet-sized Death Star now. Because
That also destroys galaxies.
yeah, no, so they see what should we do in this new trilogy? I don't know. Well, they have the Death Star, so we need something a bit different. Let's just okay, we can take the Death Star. Let's just make it bigger. Yes, let's do the same thing but make it bigger. And now it can destroy 5 planets at once. Ooh, creative. Snoke looks in it like an interesting character. I can't wait to learn more about him in the future films. Yeah, Jedi were active 10 years before, but spoken about like a myth. I don't get that. There's a cantina scene, of course. And also, something that really bugs me is how did that Satsuma face get Anakin and Luke's lightsaber in the first place? Like, how does that happen? They ask, and she goes, "That's a good question for another time." What?
So it's entertaining then.
So there's no explanation. Okay, whatever.
These are just the main points I'd like to point out that Richard said before.
There's pages I've written down about this. Pages. When they attack. Oh yeah, Rey gets captured, yeah, and then outforces Kylo without no training or knowledge. Like when she gets captured and Kylo tries to read her mind, but then she uses her force powers that she somehow knows about and manages to start reading his mind and saying that he's got fear.
Oh God, I forgot about that.
Then Rey, now this is the really stupid part, does a Jedi mind trick. She does a Jedi mind trick on a stormtrooper. How? How does she even know that's a thing?
She fails first.
Yeah, and then he walks up closer, and then it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm just going to release it. I'm losing the will to live here. She's had no training and thought that the Jedi were a myth up like 10 minutes ago, but now she can do Jedi mind tricks. When they attack the big death planet, they have 12 fighters. That's their fleet. And then, okay, now we'll get on to like the ending towards this when they have the fight, Rey and Kylo. And Rey wins against the big enemy, the big powerful enemy who's got Skywalker blood, has been trained since he was a kid, and she wins.
The one thing is, he did have a wound to the stomach first.
I don't care
He
if
still
he
should have won.
had
No, he still should have won.
Yeah, and the thing is, Mangan said about not feeling any attachment to the main characters. Kylo Ren, there was nothing with him. I just felt nothing. He just seemed like a petulant child with temper issues who was actually not very skillful at all and could easily be killed. There was no intimidation with him. He just had a mask like his granddad, and that was it. And he had these 2 little, lights coming out the side like it's a sword. Ooh, that's fancy.
So what I'm gathering here is that you didn't care at all that Han Solo died then. Heartless bastards, all of you.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, one of the elder, mentor figures gets killed by the main villain in front of the main character. Oh, so yeah, right. Oh, my bad. And there's a weak spot on this big death, planet-destroying thing that a hero in a ship blows up because there's a certain weak point. Homage.
Yeah, but that's a homage.
Homage.
It's a homage.
And right, you know what? This is the last thing I'm going to say about this film. We're finally done. When they return after the battle and Rey and Leia meet for the first time after Han has died and Leia knows about it, Chewie is right there. Chewie, who they've known for decades, and was best friends with Han. But what does Leia do? She ignores Chewie and hugs this stupid loner scavenger girl that no one knows.
Yeah, but to be fair, she also didn't give Chewie a medal, so that's actually good. That's good continuity.
R2-D2 reboots the minute they get back. How convenient. And why is Rey going to find Luke? No one knows her. Why is everyone trusting her? Wasn't Poe looking for him? Wouldn't Leia want to go there? Anyway, whatever. Whatever. That's my review.
So, Jedi masterpiece.
Oh. Do you know what though? I'll say about this as I was watching it, when I wasn't thinking about the stupid coincidentalness of this entire storyline, I actually found it quite entertaining.
You have not. Please do not say it after all that.
But it's not
Ritson, you do realize Star Wars is entirely built on like stupid coincidences. Darth Vader just so happened to be the father of Luke and Leia.
Yeah, but no one expected that. No one expected that.
Right, okay, yeah, it's entertaining. Let's move on and let's talk about Last Jedi.
Are we all voting then?
Whoa.
Or we have one?
Slow down. I mean, to be fair, I was going to say entertaining.
Oh, sorry, Paddy. I thought you'd voted when you gave yours because me and Mangan did.
Wait, what did you two say?
We both said entertaining.
I don't even know where to put this. I thought you were gonna put this worse than Jar Jar Binks.
I'm not.
No, I think
I'm not.
Here for half an hour.
I'm not gonna put it there just because of the other films.
It's the best of that trilogy.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
which has to go some way.
A video like Two Girls, One Cup in a cinema would have been better than the other two films in that trilogy. Wow. Granted, but it's still, yes, it is the best of that trilogy.
God.
I like that video.
Oh God, I get to have an argument now. I really like The Last Jedi.
Oh, right, I need to put this one in there. Insane. Are we not gonna have any films in the bottom tier?
We've got Rise of Skywalker.
Go on, Collins. Why do you like The Last Jedi? Oh, tell me. I can't wait to respond.
The Last Jedi is the best of the sequel trilogy, which isn't saying much because one is just a complete retread of A New Hope, and the other is The Rise of Skywalker. The Last Jedi takes a really good character concept with Rey and Kylo and having them linked together. The interactions between the two of them are the highlight of the film. They are just the best scenes of the villain and the hero talking to each other and trying to understand how one can be like the other. Alongside it, Luke does his role well. It's everyone moans about the fact that he went away and he didn't have a perfect ending. It's like, well, yeah, because if there's a perfect ending, you can't have a sequel trilogy. Luke fails, and he becomes a recluse because of it. Because of it, believing that the Jedi should no longer exist, which a lot of people would actually agree with you. I mean, look at it. They've grown so big that they caused the Clone Wars, and then they weren't there and able to stop the original trilogy. So Luke, admittedly, yes, it's not the greatest thing in the world that Luke decided he was going to murder his nephew, but it's a moment of weakness that we've seen that he has in the original trilogy. It's not something that just comes out of nowhere and is absolutely ridiculous.
I mean, he was about to kill his sister's son.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be a bit of an awkward cup of tea and conversation, wouldn't it?
It would. He also stops himself, remember?
Wow. Heroic.
That's the point, though.
But it would have been for the greater good.
Yeah. In a moment of weakness, he thought, I could save so many lives if I just take one. And then he realizes, oh no, that's a horrific thought. I can't possibly do that. But it's too late because Kylo's awake.
Okay.
I will give you, what the fuck were they thinking with the animal rights storyline?
Oh, okay, yeah. I
Oh.
literally was wondering where you were going with that.
No, all right, hang on.
Right
Here's the thing.
storyline.
Lads, I'm not saying this is Jedi masterpiece. I would never put it there because of that animal rights storyline.
Yeah.
That is just an absolutely stupid decision.
They kill off Admiral Akbar as well.
That was hard.
And no one cares as well.
I
There
care.
is nothing.
I care.
He has
Admiral
probably
Akbar.
one of the most iconic lines.
No, I mean, none of the characters care.
Yeah, they
No one
do.
cares that he's dead. No one seems to care. He
They-
just
right,
died. And that was
Okay,
it.
and after the battle, the thing they talk about is how they've lost all their leadership.
And also with that scene where Akbar dies, yeah. Princess Leia. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how Princess Leia dies.
Right,
But
okay, look, they filmed the scene and then she died.
No. Like, it's not. I don't have a problem with Carrie Fisher dying.
Jesus Christ, love, you couldn't have waited 5 more years.
Like, you can't plan for that.
Got one job.
Princess Leia should have died in that scene because it was kind of hard hitting and it was shocking and it was unexpected and it was like, oh my god, they actually get. Oh no, gotcha! She's not dead. Now she's gonna fly back to the
She's
ship
a
like
star,
Mary Poppins.
man.
I'm sorry. I remember when Carrie Fisher died. It was on like Christmas Eve or something, and my brother was on his phone. He said, "Oh, Carrie Fisher's died," and I barefaced look at him and I said, "You're a fucking liar."
I thought you said I thought you were gonna say I burst into tears.
No, I just looked at him and
I
said,
thought you
"You
were
are."
gonna say burst into laughter. I was like, what the
I,
hell?
I just looked at him and went, "You're a fucking liar," because I was like, and then the next, next was what's gonna happen to the movies.
Oh, how selfish!
Can I just say, it was about a few minutes into this film when I realised that things weren't going to get better. Firstly, there's no outrage by the entire galaxy that the First Order's just destroyed an entire republic and all those planets, but whatever, I guess they're scary. Then Poe comes face to face with the Dreadnought, and he makes a call to Hux, where he makes a "your mum" joke.
You know what he should have done instead? He should have called Tinky Winky.
And
that was the worst joke I've ever.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Then he goes, "I'm looking for Hugs." Get it? Because his name sounds like Hugs. It's Hux. Good humor. And then Poe, on his own, destroys all the Dreadnought cannons. Okay. They drop bombs on the enemy ship. They drop in space with no gravity. How does that work? Can someone tell me that bomber scene? How does that work?
Was it beam from a tractor beam?
No, the thing is, the scene is the bombs are just released.
Just unhook the bombs.
They unhook the bombs and they just drop in space. What was that about?
I don't think we should look like.
No. We get the continuation from the engine of The Force Awakens, which is a cool scene. Rey handing over the lightsaber to Luke. And we're like, wow, this is interesting. He gets the lightsaber, he looks at it, and he throws it over his shoulder because lol.
Not
humor.
because lol, because he no longer was a Jedi.
No, because slapstick humor.
Yes,
is
you're right.
all this film is
yes,
based
you're right.
on.
Because everyone was laughing at that, and everyone's gonna laugh at Luke Skywalker no longer wanting to be a Jedi.
And then he, wanks off an alien walrus.
What?
He wanks off that alien walrus thing, and then
right. Okay, you mean the space cow he gets milk
the space
from?
cow, yeah. He gets it right out of its tits, drinks it, and then goes, like, that's the strong stuff. That is. What the hell was that? What was that?
Are we talking about the same movie anymore?
We are, unfortunately.
Have you been watching like Star Wars the porno or something instead?
I wish I had, but no. This
Attack of the Bones.
Police if you want.
Oh god.
Sorry, keep talking. I'm trying to think of some more.
No, right. Okay. Luke is a broken character in
Han
this
Solo.
film.
Sorry, master.
Luke's a broken character in these films, Ritson.
Yeah, and it's awful. He just gave up. The most optimistic, hopeful, tenacious character in the entire galaxy. Did one failure to one student, and he went, you know what? I'm just going to let the bad guys win. Die on some stupid
not just
island.
any student. No.
Well, Darth Vader was his dad. He didn't have a problem fighting against him. But his nephew.
Hang on. He didn't fight at all against his father after it was revealed to him in 5, and then refused to fight him until his dad threatened to turn his sister into a Sith Lord. He did have a problem fighting his dad.
Okay. Cool.
They really dropped the ball with the recent one.
Stupid chase scene where the rebel ship, because they can track through light speed now, okay, and they're chasing each other, but no one gets closer to anyone. And then who's that purple-haired bitch? Right? What's her what's her point? She has this plan. She won't tell anyone the plan. So Poe threatens a mutiny, and she still won't tell them the plan. Even then, when Poe turns her over and says, "You're relieved of your command," she says nothing. But in the end, she actually has a good plan. She sacrifices herself, and everyone else escapes. Brilliant. Why didn't you say that in the first place? And as you said, that whole casino thing was so dumb and so coincidental. With they happen to end up in a cell with a guy who happens to be able to hack the enemy ship, who happens to have a tracker.
You're telling me there was a criminal in the jail?
A criminal who happens to be able to be perfect for their specific needs at this specific time. That's the problem.
Did he turn on them? I'm literally trying to remember.
He did.
Yeah, I thought he did.
Because it's a trap. Fair enough.
No, not it's a trap. It's that everyone's actually just all out for themselves in war. That classic message.
Yeah. Yeah, and the heroes get captured for the billionth
Actually,
time.
there is one thing I will say. I did shed a tear or two in the end when you realise Luke's not there. He's like a force.
Oh,
Force
God.
ghost.
No, he's not a force ghost because at the time he was still alive.
Well, he's a projection of himself, like.
Yeah, and as he disappears, you hear the rising of the two suns, or the setting of the two suns.
Generally, Luke Skywalker in his standing up against the entirety of the First Order, despite the fact that he said in those precise words, "What do you expect me to do? Stand alone against them all?" And he does it, even if it is just a projection. That's brilliant, and he does, and it's just in such a perfect way for a Jedi. Of he wasn't actually fighting them; he was just giving the rebellion enough time so that it could escape and live on, which is exactly what you'd expect him to do.
Before I talk about the Luke Skywalker stuff, you said about the Rey and Kylo scenes, where they can, apparently the Force has the FaceTime app now. You can just, call each other on it and, have a catch up.
Sure. I mean, go ahead. Just criticize literally everything to do about the Force. It's not like it's an unseen, all-powerful thing throughout the galaxy.
Yeah, but come on. And then why is Kylo wearing his pants like Simon Cowell as well? What's that about? Did you see that? Like,
because he looked more hench that way.
I mean, and then Rey goes, "Oh, can you put a towel on?" Lol, humor because he's not wearing a shirt. And then, since when can Force Ghosts actually do things in the physical world? Like Yoda summons lightning in the real. And if that's true, why don't they just help them take down all the bad guys? And then Snoke dies after
brilliant. I thought that was great.
I thought that was stupid.
Why?
You build this guy up for two scenes. Well, it basically was 2 scenes, 2 films, and then he just dies like that. No background, no backstory. Who is he?
Who cares?
Exactly. Well, that's what this film bloody made me think. Anyway,
the Luke thing. That's the thing, though.
The Luke thing.
The villain's not Snoke. The villain's Kylo.
yeah, the villain's Kylo, who's just so damn powerful. Oh God! And then Luke dies because he uses the Force too hard. Okay, sure. Yeah, cool. Because we first think that Kylo's about to strike him down, and I'm like, oh my God! But gotcha, he's not there. But double gotcha, he dies anyway, and he never leaves that stupid island for the entirety of this trilogy.
No, he sacrificed himself to save so many people.
Yeah, but he dies because he used the Force too hard. Because he
died
projected
because
the
he used a
hologram.
deadly technique.
And Elvis died on the toilet. What's your point?
It's just stupid. And also, you know that
You like that, Paddy?
you know the lightspeed kamikaze that Aldron does. Why has that never been done before ever? Why is that never been done?
What the thing that automatically is definitely gonna kill you? Why have they never
but
thought
why
of doing that before?
Why couldn't they just program it with like a droid or something to do it? Like,
Well,
droids are very useful in this universe.
Well, you know, it might be because the rebellion didn't have that many ships, and so to get rid of one like that would be very costly.
But well,
you've got to have an endless supply of ships in order to do that tactic that you want to do.
I'm not saying do the tactic. I'm just saying why was that the only time. So anyway, let's talk about the worst scene in the entire film. Let's talk about Finn and Rose. Finn, after running away from the stormtroopers, running away from fights, trying to escape, the battle in the first place, goes and he goes, screw this, I'm going to sacrifice myself to save everyone. I'm going to go into this cannon like something out of Independence Day, and I'm going to, destroy this cannon and enemies. I'm going to make sure all my friends...
Hang on, no, not something like Independence Day. I believe you mean it's a homage.
Yeah,
it's a homage.
At least it doesn't copy the entire plot this time. And just as he's about to sacrifice himself and save the day, Rose comes along and smashes him out of the air. Firstly, how do they not die there? And then secondly, we have maybe the worst piece of dialogue in Star Wars history, and I'm not even kidding. That's how we're going to win. Not fighting what we hate, but by saving what we love. And just as she says that, the cannon blows the rebel door wide open, leaving them all vulnerable. Oh!
It was at that moment they had saved nothing that they loved.
And then Rose tries to kiss Finn as that door's getting blown up, and Finn's just there like, what the hell are you doing?
You psycho bitch! Get away from me!
What are you doing? That would have been a good emotional scene. Finn sacrificing himself. I didn't want him to die, but I actually thought he was going to die until... Rose
yeah, I actually got a bit emotional thinking that Finn might die. I didn't really care, I didn't care about it was the character, but that was like, it's a natural noble act, so I'll probably remember him better.
Yeah, It definitely sort of comes down to, especially with how they use him in Rise of Skywalker, he should have died.
Yeah.
All right, should we vote? Because I kind of want to just talk about Rise of Skywalker now.
Yeah, one thing, just one thing. One thing about Finn. Well, they need him for the Rise of Skywalker because his character development and arc is truly masterfully pulled off. I mean, he really becomes a very important character with deep meaning and development. Excellently done by Rian Johnson. Fantastic.
This is what happens when you switch character directors halfway through.
Yeah.
It's not. No. It's not the fact that directors' problem. It's the fact that they kept changing the script writers. Just have the same writers.
Yeah. Let's vote.
Kathleen Kennedy failed.
Worse than Jar Jar Binks.
Worse than Jar Jar Binks.
Everything that this film did.
This film's the best one of the sequels, and it's entertaining.
That's like saying what's worse, AIDS or cancer. Like, oh well, I don't know. I'll probably stay alive longer with AIDS, so that's better than that. Who gives a shit? It's still awful. I don't care. I hate this film. I hate the fact that Luke was grumpy. I hate the fact he died because he used the Force too hard and never left this stupid island. Paddy, what'd you vote?
Fuck if I know, to be honest, but this was my least favorite out of the three of the trilogy. Let's just put it worse than Jar Jar Binks. We need one there.
Thank God. Oh,
Don't worry, we're going to get to
worry. Collins, you take it away with this because I know you actually don't like this film.
This
so
film's
you can-
fucking awful.
Yes.
This film tries to be an exact carbon copy of Return of the Jedi, and yet somehow even fails at that.
This film bent us all over.
What the just all right. So the opening line is the opening scene is Kylo Ren discovering that Palpatine's actually alive all this time, and then the next scene is Poe getting this knowledge, flying back with some random new character who we've never met before. And then gets everyone in the rebellion together and goes, somehow Palpatine's alive.
And that's just. Well, hang on a second.
It's what we all feared, but
was,
no one knew about until the trailer.
You know what? That's about. I was about to say that's as much explanation we get for Palpatine being back, but no, we get that line that he said in Revenge of the Sith. The dark side is a path to many abilities some consider unnatural. Oh, shut up, you!
It got revealed in a book, a fucking book that it's cloning that he used. He's just cloned himself a lot.
That's stupid because
it's not stupid. Cloning's very much established.
No. Okay, right.
Okay, in a book.
Hang on. Cloning is okay. Being able to clone someone who's incredibly powerful in the Force and is a Sith Lord to also be a Sith Lord is stupid. What's the point of ever training Jedi or Sith for decades when you can just test tube baby those things in a month and have them be the most powerful beings in the entire galaxy?
Because it's a path that some would consider unnatural.
My anger for this is unnatural right now.
Well, no. Generally, though, the most stupid thing is, why are you only revealing this in a book?
Oh no, I know it's ridiculous.
I was only sad at one point throughout this entire film, and that's when I thought Chewie died. Like, I was shocked.
No, we got you again, just like we got you with Leia and with Luke. He's alive.
He was on a different ship. Where was the other ship?
None of them noticed the other ship. And then Rey somehow uses Force Lightning, which she had no knowledge about, because of course she does. But I guess
because the Force is about emotions. You feed into your hate to use Force Lightning, and she hated Kylo Ren. Like, Ritson, a lot of what Rey actually does sometimes makes sense. Just because she does something that she didn't know about doesn't mean she can't do it. You don't know how to walk originally, and you don't know how to breathe, but you still somehow do them.
Yeah, you figure them out over time. You don't just go, force pull, lightning blows up an entire ship.
What if Chewie left the bathroom a mess and it was mint?
I just love the idea of a scene of Han Solo coming out the bathroom and go, Jesus Christ.
It was his mint. Chewie was just an awful person in the bathroom.
The worst thing about Palpatine is there's no hint in the first two films that he's back. Or there's no hints at all that Rey's related to him. And that's what makes it so bad. There's no hints. There's no, like, gradual storytelling. There's nothing. It's just, bugger. Everyone hates The Last Jedi. Palpatine, nostalgia. Oh, he's back. Unnatural. Stupid. And Rey is his granddaughter. That means that the Emperor has done the deed and planted the seed. That's an image you want to think about.
But in fairness, if you imagine the Emperor in the prequel films with Ewan McGregor, I mean, you could imagine it then. You got to remember he used to be that.
I still don't want to. I still to imagine that.
No, but how old's Rey?
I don't know, 20, early 20s.
So this is whilst he's Emperor, and he looks like a piece of beef jerky.
Is it?
He has twiglets for fingers as well.
He looks like a piece of beef jerky.
He also looks like he's put on lipstick for the first time. If anyone noticed that, his lips look so stupid. Oh God, it's so bad.
Rey is introduced as a 19-year-old in Force Awakens.
So it would have been about whilst the Death Star was getting blown up for the first time.
2 years in between Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker.
Mhm.
So I think she's 21.
Yeah. Let's. Can we talk about the Sith Wayfinder as well?
It's set. Oh, never mind. It's set 1 year after she's 20.
Oh, okay. And she's just so powerful, and she can beat anyone because she's had so much training.
This
Yeah,
is getting so petty, man. I don't. I just want to talk about. I don't know which one I want to talk about. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to talk about this. Screw it. The kiss between Ben and Rey.
Oh God! Just when it couldn't get
I
worse.
actually told me television to fuck off.
God. This.
I actually couldn't believe it. I hated both of them so much for it.
The ending of this film is horrific.
Oh.
Why? Why kiss? Why kiss?
Can I actually? The kiss was awful and should never have happened. And what happened to Ray and Finn? I thought that was going to be a thing because they actually had chemistry and had been through this thing, the whole time. And nothing happened. No actual love story happens. Everyone ends up single because love is dead in this new Star Wars universe.
Say Ray a lot.
Yes, I know.
Right.
Right. Can I talk about the most stupid thing about the entire sequel trilogy? Let's talk about when Rey uses force healing. She heals that thing in the tunnels, then them finding that was ridiculously coincidental and made Luke Skywalker look dumb as hell. Then she stabs Kylo fatally, but no, she heals him because she can do that with barely any training. Now, guys,
that fully pissed me off. I mean, the entire purpose of the prequel trilogy is that Anakin is seduced over to the dark side for this power that doesn't actually exist.
Yeah, but it exists, and Rey can do it like that. Rey,
it's so annoying. It's so annoying that Rey can have powers that no other Jedi has. Like, she has so many powers. And sometimes you hear in, like, the Clone Wars or in the expanded universe, Jedi do have different powers that some Jedi don't have. But she has literally everything. Everything!
She's an amazing scavenger, mechanic, pilot, fighter, shooter. She can do any power she wants with the Force, lightning.
She can play the guitar.
Hang on. She's yet to be able to have a Force vision. Boom.
She's one of the best wrestlers in the world. She's won WWE 2K20.
UFC champion, heavyweight champion.
She won the Ballon d'Or. She
won Wimbledon.
Yeah.
And she didn't even have a bracket.
By herself. She was against 52 other people, but by God, did she only need herself for it?
She dunked over Steph Curry.
That's not hard, Steph Curry.
I don't know anything about basketball, mate.
She slapped an egg on Michael Jordan's head. I thought that was a bit disrespectful.
Also, with Palpatine being back, can we just talk about how he was blown up twice in The Return of the Jedi? He was blown up when Darth Vader threw him down and there was the big explosion. Then the Death Star blew up into a billion pieces. But no, he can somehow...
I can only assume... have you seen Robot Chicken, where the Emperor gets thrown down? And he just lands on the Millennium Falcon.
Maybe he's heat-proof.
I can only assume that's what happened.
Maybe he's heat-proof.
Good God almighty.
Don't, Paddy.
I'm trying here, lads. I'm trying.
Don't
okay.
Make me think this. Because J.J. Abrams will probably say it was true.
Another thing, they're in the quicksand, yeah? And then Finn goes, Rey, I never told you that... And then that's it. And then we never hear that storyline ever again.
I don't know. I identified with that because Rey asked him, so what were you about to tell me? And he goes, I never told you about these coupons I have. I identify with that.
I hated that. And then Finn actually seems to be Force sensitive. Oh my God. What? Because he has feelings, right? And he just knows. He has feelings, and he knew where the that navigation thing in the Star Destroyer, he knew which one it was in. Of the
Would
thousands
you
and
rather he
thousands that were
said
there,
that he had
he
an
knew.
instinct that this was the way to go?
He had a feeling, and then there was so that was the other thing that we definitely know he's force sensitive is when Rey dies in quotations, and then Finn goes Rey, and we're like, oh my god, he knows he's force sensitive. That'll be interesting. Oh wait, the sequel, it's all over. We don't get anything on that. Okay, cool.
We haven't actually talked about the best scene in the film. Like, let's give some credit. The most frustrating things about the sequel movies are there's always something good that happens surrounded by, but then it'd be followed up by something that you really don't like. And when Kylo Ren, after he gets healed and Rey flies off, he sort of says, "I'm not going to be a Sith anymore," and he imagines Han Solo in front of him, and Han Solo and Kylo Ren, Adam Driver and Harrison Ford, they do a great job there.
That was a great scene. I will give it that.
And let's just quickly establish, he's not a Force ghost.
No,
Just a memory.
No, because
Idiots.
yeah, he got really angry at that.
yeah. Also, another thing with the whole Force ghosts, Rey throws the lightsaber into the fire or whatever, and then Luke catches it. The ghost catches a physical object lightsaber that he could then use.
Again, Yoda caused lightning to come
Yeah,
out.
and I said in the last film, I said, why can he do that? What the hell's that about? As well. So it just confuses me more.
Can we also talk about how Rey takes the name Skywalker even though she has no
That's
say
so
in
disrespectful.
that? You're shitting on someone's grave.
I just felt back. I just thought back to the Harry Potter of how dare you stood where he stood. That quote.
No, the really annoying thing about that is that the entirety of the point of the film was that you don't need to live with the past that your name has, and so even though you're a Palpatine, you can still be a good person.
Imagine.
Yeah, I'm Rey Skywalker, by the way.
Imagine if the film ended and said, "Who are you?" And says Rey Palpatine, and then kills the woman. That would have been cool. I would have liked that because I would have been like,
"What? You mean like the 5 minutes that there was Darth Rey on the screen?"
Yeah. At the very end, Luke's there with Leia, and she just kills the woman and says, "I'm a Palpatine." And then
Mainly though, actually, I did enjoy General Hux turning out to be a spy, and then immediately getting shot.
Oh my god! Like, isn't he like? Oh
my god,
that was hilarious.
Also, how did the Emperor have 1 million Star Destroyers too? What? How? How do you get that?
1 million Star Destroyers with Death Star technology.
Oh yeah! Oh my god! I nearly forgot. Because
I just want to vote now.
No. Because first you get a Death Star, which is as big as a moon, but then you need something bigger. So you make a Death Planet. But then where do you go from that? Oh, let's just put a Death Planet fucking laser beam on every single ship they have. It's just stupid. It's like, well, let's just make it big.
It's worse than Jar Jar Binks.
Jar Jar Binks. It's just a massive slap to the face, really, to any Star Wars fan.
Yeah, Paddy, I'd appreciate if you added a new tier below worse than Jar Jar Binks, because it's so bad.
If I just say a quick piece, I think for a casual fan, or less than casual, it's a good film because it's entertaining. Let me finish. It's entertaining for a casual fan like me, but I can see for people who know the story and everything like that, more hardcore fans, I can see it's terrible because I've heard about all the plot holes and I can understand your pain. But for a casual, for me, it was entertaining, but I get all the plot holes.
The biggest thing is, even with all the plot holes, it's the fact that it just ruins the 6 films beforehand. It ruins Anakin's entire arc, turn from dark back to good. It ruins the whole reason he turned to the dark in the first place. It ruins the happy ending of Han and Leia because they end up being separated. It just ruins everything. Then it kills them all off. It's a complete disaster.
I can't wait for the next trilogy.
Well, hold before we finish.
You mean the Rian Johnson trilogy that's been announced?
Well, whatever it is, it's not focusing actually on the Skywalkers, so you can actually leave it alone. Let it die.
Yeah, I'm so happy that we're just done with Skywalkers.
The past. Kill it. If you have to.
Before we finish though, I think what we should start doing at the end of our tier lists is have a little vote on what we think the best one is and the worst one. So out of the top tier, what we would agree is the best movie, and out of the bottom tier, what do we think is the worst one?
Empire Strikes Back.
Empire Strikes Back, Rise of Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker.
For the Force healing thing, Rise of Skywalker ruins everything that came before.
Is that your only reason?
No, well, it's the reason I'm picking it over The Last Jedi.
Okay.
Oh, and Palpatine being back for no reason whatsoever. Also ruining Anakin's redemption.
Oh, don't say. Oh, that's. Oh, wow.
What are your votes, Paddy?
That's annoying me.
Probably Empire Strikes Back and maybe The Last Jedi. Oh, I wouldn't mind saying The Rise of Skywalker is
a total fuck up. The sequel.
Feisty one.
I mean, there you go. We commit to this. What about you, Ritten? Do you have a vote for the best?
We've all voted already.
My favourite film's The Revenge of the Sith, as well as Empire Strikes Back.
Okay,
yeah.
So pretty much worst film, Rise of Skywalker, best, Empire Strikes Back.
And then if you rank the trilogies, I think we're all going to agree: original, then prequel, then sequel. Yeah, that's just how it is.
Well, that has been fantastic. Thank you guys for this. Not as controversial as I thought it was going to be, to be honest with you. But yeah, remember, yeah.
That was a lot. Oh, I feel like I've got so much off my chest.
It's longer than what I thought.
I mean, we had like 12 things to talk about. It took 2.5 hours.
That's how bad the sequel.
We had 18 things to talk about in the last one,
and 1.5 of those hours was just Ritson talking about the plot to Force Awakens.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help. I was so angry. I needed.
I like how you said, okay, I'll only do the main points, and then talked about one thing for 10 minutes.
Oh well.
All right. Remember, guys, we are on Twitter and Instagram at the Tier List Podcast. Check this podcast out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Pods, and our great sponsors, Anchor. From all of us here, though, this being the tier list, and we'll see you later.